Hola, 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 hola. What's up, everybody?
Okay,
What's
hold up. I'm with the
up?
club.
Let's go.
All
Let's
right.
go.
And we're back.
All right.
And we are back. Hello, beautiful people. Again, those tunes were provided by our own Haran DeMarco. He is on the panel. If you want to contact Haran DeMarco, there he is. Okay. Hi, everybody.
Well, hey there.
Lily always knows when I was running late, when I was sliding through here and landed in my chair. Hi, everybody. Okay, Hudson, I see you. You said you may need to hop on for this one. Come on up, okay? If you want, say with your face. Welcome, welcome, welcome to another episode of On the Block with Jen. Okay, I am your favorite devil's advocate. And speaking about devil's advocacy, tomorrow is going to be the panel in the stream that you guys have been asking me for literally months. It is going down tomorrow. We're having an atheist debate. The atheists are pulling up.
Oh,
Okay? The atheists are pulling up tomorrow. I am also inviting some Christians. It's not listen, it's not limited to Christians. If you are of another religion, because I know Christians think they're the only religion on the planet. I get it, but there are like 4,000 of them. So if you belong to another in the 4,000, feel free to come up and tell the atheists why we crazy. We will be glad to reciprocate and tell you why you're crazy. Tomorrow, the debate of all debates. You guys have been asking for this, okay? You guys have been asking for this. Tomorrow, the atheists pull up from all walks of life. We're going to tell our origin stories, okay? Speaking of, here's another atheist. We're going to talk about our journey, how we got to atheism, because I'm sure it's different for all of us, but I promise none of us were mad at God, okay? So tomorrow, pull up. The atheist debate will happen, and you are all welcome to come. Cam up and what have you. You can reach me on all social media platforms, On the Block with Jen for business, On the Block with Jen at Gmail. Don't want to hold you. Let everyone introduce themselves. Let's get this party started. Tonight's going to be spicy, and we also got some spicy celeb news to dissect as well. Lily?
I'm Lily from YB Limited. That's the letter Y, the letter B, the word limited, exactly the way it is spelled, right? Her. I'll get that down one day. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and yes, here on YouTube as well. Yeah, and that's about it.
And I am Haran DeMarco, the guy that you swear never disagrees with your favorite devil's advocate.
If they only knew, Haran.
If they only knew.
Jen's quote unquote yes man. Here to give you the info, the energy that you need. Find me out on Instagram under Dangerous DeMarco, and check me out on Spotify under Haran DeMarco. One of y'all, come on, jump in.
Come on, no, say jump on in there, get in there, so we can get started.
You've been around the colors long enough,
listen, I figured I was last in here, so I was going to wait to go. But yeah, you can find me on No Saint 2, No Saint 2 on Instagram, and No Saint YouTube channel.
No
All
saint,
right,
such a saint.
Yeah, Saint, no Saint. I am David Hand, aka Mr. David Hand, on the Instagrams mostly, but I am the complaining Gen X mouth of that generation.
Nice. Nice.
We need more of those.
Yes.
All right, guys. All right. Let's talk about Dangerous Diddy. Oh, shit. Dangerous Diddy is Bad Boy on the verge of collapse. We jumping right in here. Is Bad Boy on the verge of collapse, and is one of his baby mamas, because there are many, you know how these moguls are, is one of his baby mamas the catalyst to his demise? Lily, you know a lot about this than we do. Please fill us in from your desk.
Oh, Lord. So what the people are saying, there's a lot going on, right?
Yes.
And talking about Diddy, I mean, we can do a whole week's worth of Surviving Diddy, right? Which I feel like that's coming. I feel like Lifetime is working on that right now. If you ask
Oh.
the streets, okay?
Mhm.
And the streets have been buzzing for a long time, and a lot of us that's up here. We're in the industry, so we get some tea dropped in our lap every now and then. I can't spill none of that tea, but I will talk about the public tea
Mhm.
that is going on. Okay, so right now what we're dealing with, what's started this was his first baby mama, Misa,
Mhm.
who is the mother of his oldest son, Justin.
Mhm.
That looks like another guy, his old bodyguard, but that's another thing. That's a whole nother thing. So,
Shots fired.
but that's not what we're here to talk about. We're
He
here
don't
to
he
talk.
don't look none like he don't look like none of them kids, but the other kids, but
I'm clutching my rope chain here.
But what's going on is that Justin was arrested this weekend for DUI. Okay. All right. He's in college. It happens. Thank God it was a DUI and not, something else. No one was hurt. But what's
Yeah.
ironic is Justin's mother, Misa, came out, which she never talks. This is the quiet baby mama, the first baby mama and the quiet baby mama. She don't bother nobody. And let's also add the fact that Misha has developed her own career in the industry. She is a very talented, celebrated, decorated fashion stylist in the entertainment business. So she's not just a baby mama.
Mhm.
So she comes out and she says, you know what? I'm not protecting anyone anymore. Okay, well, what was you protecting? That's what the people want to know. Misa, what was you protecting, girl? So what she said is that she was upset that her son was arrested for a DUI while his father is promoting alcohol to the youth, to the masses, right? He's promoting Act Bad because that's his new single out with his latest girlfriend.
Mhm. One of his girlfriends.
Okay, girlfriend adjacent, my Young Miami and the City Girls. And so she's like, he's gallivanting around with girls our son's age, but his son is out here acting bad. So now this is where Lisa has a problem. So she's like, you know what? I'm no longer protecting him. I'm no longer protecting anyone. It's about my son. Like, you need to get it together. You're not a good influence. And so what that did was that caused the firestorm of Diddy haters, because he has a lot of them, because, we all know the stories about him owing so many people money, about him taking people's publishing. These are notorious stories when it comes to Bad Boy. When we think about Bad Boy artists, nobody is doing their thing now. Oh, I thought all these people I was about to say all these people he's touched. All these people that he's
Damn.
it wouldn't be too off. Ironically.
I didn't get to that yet. I did not get to that yet. Out of all of these people that he has come in contact with over the last 30-year career, no one is doing well. And a lot of people are dead. So, he's got a lot of death surrounding him. He's got a lot of swindling surrounding him. He's got a lot of things surrounding him. So people are making a lot of these Surviving Diddy videos. They're sick of them. And then, of course, what gets brought back up are the gay rumors.
Mm-hmm.
Mace is doing, I guess, well with his off-the-rack suit and his commentary with Cameron and their little back and forth at that little, I don't know, podcast or whatever you want to call it.
Well, if
So
Mace
just
was
to
doing
be-
so well, he wouldn't have an off-the-rack suit. But that's another.
Hello.
Okay, then touche.
So let's quote Misa directly, shall we?
Oh yeah.
Let's quote Misa. Let's hear what Misa had to say. First baby mama of Diddy, and I say baby mama because he didn't marry any of the women he impregnated. You know what I mean? So in our circles, that's baby mama. You could say his child's mother, whatever. Lily, she's the quiet one, but they're all quiet. If you notice, all those baby mamas are tight-lipped.
You're right.
Very, very
You're right.
tight-lipped. He takes very good care of those women. Have you noticed outside of Misa, none of them have a job. I mean, Kim Porter, rest in peace, didn't have a job. Call Me Pumpkin, I don't know her real name. That's the name on Instagram. That's another baby mama. She didn't have a job.
I think that's Sarah.
Okay, Sarah.
that
Yeah,
Sarah?
yeah. None of them. You know, their job is literally keeping his secrets, which I'm sure is worth a lot of money. And
Mhm.
raising his babies. So Misa went on to post on her own Instagram, everyone has to sit around for years and act like there isn't anything wrong with you. This is where the buck stops for me. 100 emoji. Okay.
That's
How
a
do
good
you
one.
go? And she went on. Misa goes on.
After the 100 emoji?
After the 100 emoji, she goes on. She says, how do you go from one of the greatest to ever do it to making all your money off alcohol and suing the damn alcohol company? Hilton wrote, sell something healthy that builds people up. I'm sick of it. Not mine, meaning not mine, my son, Justin, not mine, which could be translated as fuck everybody else's kids, but not mine, right? She then wrote that she should have kept her child with her. I guess she handed the child over to Diddy because he had the big mansion and all the cars and all of that and all the money and all the resources. Probably handed the boy over to the father. So she said, she then wrote, should have kept my child with me, and added, fuck UCLA too. She throwing UCLA into the mix. I don't know what UCLA did, but she said, fuck UCLA too.
I
Okay.
would say student loans, but that wouldn't apply.
The university at which her son played football and graduated from 2016 with a sociology degree. She also goes on to say she wasn't done. This was a rant. She wasn't done. She said the statement, a fish rots from the head down, means that in addition to being a major contributing factor in a family or organization success, leadership is also the root cause of its failure and demise. The truth shall set you free. I didn't say that. That's how she ended it. Woo! Fish are rotting.
From
The demise of a family and an organization starts also with the head. Oh, wait, there's more. But wait, there's more.
Oh, free steak knives?
That was great. Act Bad, which is, like Lily said, his latest single. I used to want to be a bad girl. I chose to be a queen. Tried and true. I'm not perfect, but oh, I am intentional. Hilton continued, act bad. A fish rots from the head. Blah, blah, blah. The fish story was great. I'll use that later. Leadership is also the root cause. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, so that is what she said. She said, I'm not protecting no one anymore, just my son. Point blank, period. Now, was she on her cycle? Did she just have an argument with Diddy? Is all this going to calm down? Is Diddy going to throw a yacht at her and be like, hey, because Diddy is pretty convincing, obviously, apparently. Is Diddy going to do, you know, the little snake thing and call her and be like, hey, Misa, come on, bygones be bygones. I'm going to get Justin out of this mess. You worry too much. I got him. And then is she going to delete all her little tweets and go on about her shopping?
I mean, it gives me that, you know, all my life I had to fight.
Are you insinuating she's not being sincere?
She's just all this energy, like the fish rocks from the head. I'm like, okay, all right.
Fish.
We're throwing out the metaphors. You know it's serious when black folks throw out metaphors.
Oh,
You know
listen.
from me. Some
Listen.
serious shit. But you know, I think, come on, it's gonna be a phone call. A couple of things are gonna be said, and Justin's gonna get out, and she's not. She's gonna act like nothing ever happened, and blah blah blah. But there's bigger issues involved in this when it comes to Diddy. Much far bigger issues.
Right. This is my thing. This is and I like Misa, but this is my thing.
Uh-oh.
Misha, I'm gonna have to call some cap on you, baby. We're gonna have to go ahead and call the cap because all of a sudden now you're fed up. Okay, when it's mine, oh, now you're fed up. But when it was ours, oh, you didn't care. Right? Now I get it. I get it. Mama Bear come out. You know, but Mama Bear come out. We don't need like the mother, you know, don't I know how my mother is. She don't need to be, she don't give a fuck if she right. Okay.
This is true.
Yeah.
Don't give a fuck if she's right. So
Mhm.
I feel like it was one of those moments. She didn't care about being right. It was her child. At the same time, you know, now that you make it public, Misa, we're in your business. We haven't been in your business for a long time. So and I feel like that's what's going on here because, and this is my thing. I get what she's saying because a lot of the stuff that Diddy promotes and that Diddy does, Diddy's having this like, he's been going through this Peter Pan syndrome thing
Mhm.
over the last few years. It's been really weird to watch. But, you know, and then the latest song, Act Bad, which is a trash song
Oh,
to
it's
start
horrible.
with. Okay. If and I get her point. If he thinks it's cool to promote that, he could have put his daughters in the Active Bag video.
Hmm.
I mean,
Shots
he had them in their drawers, right? Then he had them in their drawers at their
He
16th
did have.
birthday last year.
He did have those twins were in their drawers at their 16th, their sweet 16. Yes, they were. Pictures are
So what-
everywhere.
Oh,
David,
tell you.
David,
Alright.
what say you, David?
Look, I'm a little stuck on the fact that Ciroc is a money train. Get out of that business?
Exactly. He not.
How is that in her economic interest for him to get out of such a successful endeavor? You know what I mean? It's like reactionary. You
Right.
know, that's not what made the kid drink and get pulled over for drunk driving. You know, it wasn't the fact that Diddy owns the
Absolutely.
brand. It was probably Smirnoff anyway.
I mean, what is he supposed to sell? Diddy shakes? Diddy whey shakes? I don't know.
Yeah, smoothies, Diddy smoothies.
But he wouldn't be a billionaire, you all. If he sold water, he wouldn't be a billionaire.
I tell
Diddy
you, man, this
smoothies.
is
Yeah,
this is
because
really. Go ahead, David.
I mean, it's just it makes so much sense. You know what I mean? Like it feeds into everything. You know, bottle service culture. So it was a smart move, and like I said, a money train that's
Yeah.
not going to stop.
Absolutely.
No.
I mean, it's just very strange. It's like there's no money out here in these streets. Diddy's acting the fool. Strange women are calling me. It just feels like the 90s all over again. You know what I mean?
I just want to know. We all want to know now, Misa.
You know, I just feel like we're
The-
living the 90s all
90s
over again.
The 90s were kind of fun. I wouldn't really mind that.
I wouldn't either.
I like the 90s.
Yeah, they
I
were,
like
they
them.
were.
I like the 90s. No, Saint, what say you, sir?
Yeah, I don't see how she's blaming what his business is to what happened with the child. I mean, children are gonna, you know, if he was selling water, this probably would have still happened. I mean, you know, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But she's a mom and she's, you know, angry, and especially when they're not together like that, of course. You're gonna blame the other person, whether it's their fault or not. You know, you're never gonna. When you're angry, you'll do stuff like that. So, I think that's all that's about.
I have a question for you all. Do you think, because I can't help but to think this and ask this, do you think part of Misa's passion is coming from watching him gallivant around with women younger than their children?
I'll let the women answer this.
No,
What?
I absolutely do think so. I think first of all, it was a rant, so it was loaded. It wasn't just, oh, my son. It was like, you fucking bastard. I haven't liked you since 1993, since I walked in on you with my cousin. Okay, I didn't get over that shit, and then you went and you fucked my assistant. I didn't forget
Oh,
that
shit.
shit either. Okay.
Shit.
So don't forget, you know, the fish rots from the bottom. I remember when we went to eat lobster, you motherfucker, and you fucked the waitress. Remember the waitress who served me the fish? Okay, that's what the rant sounded like. It was loaded. She was throwing in, I'm not going to protect you anymore, which means that there's a stockpile of shit that she knows. And her son, you know, having a DUI was just the straw that broke the camel's back. Now, I want to know if she's about it, because she said she's not protecting you. So what are you going to do?
She ain't that about it.
Because if I say I'm not protecting you anymore and something pops up, then I'm going to have something to say about it, right? So she's not protecting him anymore. How was she protecting him? What secrets was she keeping? Is he facing a lawsuit or criminal charges? What exactly is going on there? Also, if you recall, way back, Misa and him got into a court battle about a home that she owned. Remember that, Lily?
I forgot about that one.
And everyone was like, oh, why doesn't he pay off this house? That's his first baby mama and blah, blah, blah. So I think because Misa was the rebel, this is my opinion, the rebel of the stable of baby mamas. She's always been the rebel of the stable of baby mamas. The other ones are really cute and quiet and they go on their vacations and show their red bottoms. Misa, not so much. And it's because Misa makes her own money. I think that he doesn't, you know what I mean, give her as much money or vacays or clout as he does the others. The others are very quiet, but Misa's the rebel of the stable. So I think that's why even back then he was like, I'm not paying for her house. That's her fucking business. She's married. And they were going back and forth, right? So there's a lot of resentment there, but I'm sorry, I do think that it's embarrassing. Diddy really has his pick of the litter. Why he's running around with a 28-year-old girl that's younger than his son. Yeah, you can say he's rich. That's what rich guys do. It's still embarrassing to your kids. It's still embarrassing to your kids, which affects their mother.
Yeah.
Right. So it may not be her personally. Like, I don't care what rat you run around with, but my kids are affected. My kids are watching you run around with women younger than they are. And that's probably where she's coming from. Not from I want Diddy, from you're embarrassing our son.
Uh-huh.
That's what I think.
I tell you one thing: women have an eidetic memory.
What?
Women have an eidetic memory when it comes to certain things, man. Jesus
Yes.
Christ! I forgot all about that house.
Oh, I didn't forget.
And that damn
I didn't
She remembered.
forget.
She has nothing to do with it, but she remembered that shit.
I remember that. I remember the fish dinner, you bastard, and you fucked the waitress in the bathroom.
Now you guys see what I deal with behind the scenes.
Yeah, I remember that shit.
So I wonder, based off of some of the if you know some of the rumors, many rumors over the years, I wonder if that's some of the stuff that she's protecting, right?
Mhm.
Because I'm one of the people who believe that there's smoke, there's fire, right? So I don't believe I may not believe that all the rumors are true, but there's something
Mhm.
there. For instance, one of the rumors that just keeps following him around, besides the gay rumor or whatever, which I don't really care about. The one I do care about more so is like the underage rumors that are attached to him and Justin Bieber, but and Usher. But guess who else they're attached to? Now this is what I do remember. The last time I heard from Misa was when they were talking about how he met her and she was underage when she got pregnant with Justin.
Yeah, she was.
Yeah. So
I found the story. I found the story.
Oh, you found it.
I found it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
It says Diddy reveals he co-signed Misa Hilton Brim's $700,000 home loan. Now, this is 2015. This is way back, 2015. We reported last March that Diddy's baby mama, Misa Hilton Brim, wanted the rap mogul to help her fight the foreclosure on her home. But Puff wanted nothing to do with the loans because he didn't reside in the New York City mansion any longer. The Jasmine brand obtained the exclusive court documents revealing that Citibank filed a lawsuit against Diddy and his baby mama, Misa Hilton Brim, mother to his son, Justin, accusing them of defaulting on $712,000 loan for a New York home. The court docs explained that Diddy co-signed a bank loan for Misa, but she stopped making payments back in 2010. So it looks like, hey, we bought this home together when we were together. I'm about to lose it. Are you going to help me out? And because she's this baby mama, he was like, fuck off. That's what I take from that story.
I'm going to tell you what I take from it. You can go a long time without paying mortgage in New York without getting put out. That is a takeaway.
It says here, Diddy blasted the lawsuit and denied it, saying he only helped out Misa get the loan because of her bad credit. However, he claimed she agreed to handle all the mortgage payments and he would not be held accountable to the home. So Diddy was really like, fuck what, you ain't fucking me no more. You don't want to be in the stable? You out. You took your jersey off, mama. You on your own. That's what it looks like to me, which I understand because
I get
Misa has
that.
moved on with other men. So she's moved on. You know what I mean? And she didn't have custody of Justin. So I get that. I get a man
I was
saying,
just about to ask that. I was just about to ask that question.
Mhm.
If you guys feel that he was in the right or the wrong for doing that. I
No,
feel
he was in the
the
right.
right.
No,
no, he was in the
that
right.
way.
He was in the right.
Especially like you said, especially if that was the arrangement, if that's
Right.
and
Right.
he said that in the deposition, I believe as well. So he said that
Right.
under oath. Okay, so I'm gonna assume that was their agreement. If that's their agreement, that's their agreement.
That's their
Right.
agreement, but I mean, agreement like that outside of the mortgage wouldn't be binding to, alleviating any of his responsibility to repay a loan that he co-signed. You know what I mean? You can't
Oh, that's
say to the
true.
bank, "I'm going to guarantee
Right.
this loan," and say to your
You know what?
partner, "But it's on
You
you."
got a point. You know what?
The
You got a
bank's going to
point
get
because
your ass no matter what.
right. Right. You know what? You have an absolute point. Yeah, no, he has an absolute point. No, because he was legally binded
Yeah.
to that, to that property. I forgot that.
Okay.
He was legally binded. It wasn't
Yeah.
some old, I'm gonna look out on the strength.
He was
No.
trying to help her out, he says, for her credit, but obviously he didn't care about his credit very much because that's going to affect his credit.
And
I mean,
Well,
he's a
check-
billionaire. He's okay. He's a
Yeah.
billionaire.
Yeah. There's no such thing as credit when you got that much
$700,000
money.
Yeah.
So it says,
$100,000 house in where Rego Park, Queens.
So check this out. He went on.
Doesn't
He
buy a
says,
bunch in New York.
he says that Diddy says he helped Misa get the home loan because she was raising their son Justin, and his son was living with his baby mama at the time. Diddy said he paid Misa substantial amounts of child support over the years, and that part of what she received was supposed to be used to pay her home bills. He then accused his baby mama of not being able to manage her finances despite his huge monthly child support checks. Diddy also claimed to have to help her out with large sums of money on numerous occasions to assist with mortgage payments and other things. Diddy demanded the lawsuit be dismissed against him because it wasn't his home. And to make matters worse, he said Justin now lives in California with me, not his mother. Citibank fired back at Diddy and claimed he was responsible for the default on payments.
You
So you
No,
were
that's-
right.
no, that's
You were right,
correct.
David.
No, that's absolutely correct. All that other shit that he was talking about, it's really amounts to a hill of beans. Because if your name is on there, you got to pay.
Your name is
The
on
bank don't
there.
give a fuck.
Right.
Yeah, your name is on it. Your name is on it.
Guess
Okay,
what? You
so-
have that house.
Right.
Welcome
So-
to Rego Park.
Right.
What can we expect, baby?
Make yourself at home. Get comfy. So, that just bringing that up to show these two have had a volatile co-parenting relationship. So now this is the straw that broke the camel's back. I mean, this kid DUI is serious. It's one of my biggest, you know what I mean? Because the driver never dies. You always kill everybody
Yeah.
else around
Yeah.
you. The driver never fucking dies. So I can understand why she's furious. And then on top of that, he's running around like, an 18-year-old fool. And it looks cringe. And I understand midlife crisis. I understand the Peter Pan syndrome. But it looks cringe because he's a mogul and because he's achieved so much. He looks silly. He looks silly.
That was one of the things she said. You went from being one of the best to ever do it to just running around looking crazy, So she was right about that. It's just like, you don't have to do this. A lot of people who are running around doing this, it's because they're trying to come out of poverty and they know degeneracy is the way to do it. So
Right.
I can understand them to a certain extent. But for you, sir, like you're mid-50s, you're a billionaire. Come on, sit down.
Well, for some people, and I saw that with Irv Gotti. Jen and I were having this conversation. A lot of guys from that era did not transition well into a life of just sitting the fuck down. They don't understand that the curtain, somebody called for the curtain like 13 years ago for them. Like, yeah, sit down. And they just constantly keep doing shit to be relevant. And it's just like, no, like everyone's moved on. You're the old nigga in the club now, dog. You just, regardless of how much money you had, you're still the old dude in the club. It's looking crazy, man.
Take off that Versace tracksuit.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. You know,
Hand over
you're
the
looking
shiny
like,
suit, sir.
yeah, you got a Coogee shirt in the club right now. You're looking just crazy.
Now wait a minute. Now we will be celebrating in the club. Don't play with me.
Oh,
Let's
will
not
be
get
those
panicky.
There's nothing wrong
Okay.
there's nothing wrong with celebrating
We're
it,
gonna
but we will be acting our age.
We
True.
will look good.
We will be acting our age.
That is correct. That is correct. I will be looking at the youngins like, oh, look at his little butt. Isn't that cute? But you're right. Correct. I will be not
Okay,
taking him home.
I'm lying. I might pop a twerk or two. Just
Oh,
Oh,
No,
see,
I-
Lily, if you twerk, then I gotta twerk.
Exactly.
Then we gotta get the twerking.
And
I
I'm
might,
the
leave
one
with
who.
I might leave with a 30-year-old. I'm just saying. I might leave with a 30-year-old.
What did you
Alright.
say, David? What did you say,
And
David?
if that 30-year-old has a hot brother, I am absolutely right by your side, Haran.
That leaves No Saint as the designated driver.
There you go. There you go.
You're not drinking, no saint.
That leaves No Saint as the designated driver. All right. So I mean, are we aside from all the rumors? I mean, here's the thing: we can talk about it. Misa, let's say if she came out with a tell-all book tomorrow, the power of power, prestige, and money, no one's going to give a damn. They let R. Kelly skate molesting 12-year-olds for decades. No one's going to care. Like, what are you going to say? Diddy's gay. Okay. I mean, my mama gay, my daddy gay, my cousin gay, my dog is gay. Everybody gay. Everybody gets a little gay. So I'm like, I mean, what would she say? We know he's a womanizer. We know he grooms boys in the music business. We know he's real cringy with other artists, like the way he spoke to Fabulous, and he was trying to take 50 Cent out shopping. He was trying to take him shopping. I mean, what could be said? We know about the orgies. That's the music business. We know about L.A. Reid. Okay, like Lily said, if you have friends in this business, ooh, the little stories that you get during dinner. Okay, you know what I'm saying? So what's the worst? What is the possible worst that could happen to that man at this point in his life with that amount of money? He can pay off judges and attorneys. I mean,
Proof.
what?
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
Proof.
that
Proof.
underage shit is gonna bite anyone.
Yeah.
in the ass.
Right.
You know,
I think it'll be
there's
the
actual
underage.
proof.
That's the one.
Yeah, I
I mean,
think it'll
but
be the
proof,
underage.
but proof of what?
You know what I mean?
Pedo.
Of any kind
Okay,
of
so
pedo, any kind of any
let's
other situation.
okay. Let's say he pedoed Justin Bieber, which isn't far fetched. Let's say he pedoed Usher. You think Usher or Bieber are gonna go against
Absolutely
Diddy?
not. Absolutely not.
I'm
Absolutely
trying to
not.
get
They're gonna
those
be like
visuals
that.
out of my mind.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, you know, I'm sure Justin is going to be like, that's a stunt Bieber in there in the video. That's not me.
Yeah.
AI. It's AI. It's
Bieber bot. It's
it's
Bieber
an
bot.
AI. It's a Bieber bot or some shit. I don't know. They made those back then. I don't know.
Right. Right. So it's like,
Life-size action figure. Yeah.
you know, it's
Correct.
it really is. It would just be another tell all of like what I mean. Corinne Stevens, aka Superhead, aka Elizabeth Olvinson, she changed her name, but it's gonna be the same thing. We know these guys are grimy. We know that the music business is one of the grimiest. Hollywood acting is catching up. Okay, Hollywood's catching up, but we know the music business is some of the grimiest people.
Because I'm still trying to
If you're
figure out.
watching, because I see people just came in the room tomorrow. We're doing the atheist debate. The atheists will pull up to talk about religion. Come through tomorrow. It's going to be epic.
Okay. So.
And then just to let you guys know, the grimy shit is the surface level shit.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
We haven't even gotten to the real fucked up shit.
Yes.
We're not even touching the real shit. We're not even gonna do that tonight.
Shit is like, you know, it's like, yeah, it's kind of fucked up. No, we haven't gotten to the real shit yet.
Yeah. And we will not be touching that until it come all the way out.
Oh,
I
no.
will not
Oh,
even
no.
put it out.
And you know what's funny that people don't understand, like when you have friends or even people that are not your friends and they're fawning over a certain celebrity and you're sitting there like, listen, he sucked a hamster out of you know what I mean, a 16-year-old's ass, and you're sitting there and you're watching them fawning over that person, but you know the ends because your friends who got friends know the ends, and they're just like, oh my god, I love this girl, and I'm like, oh, if you know what she did, you know, but you can't say anything. You can't say anything because it's not your story to tell.
Absolutely. You're absolutely right, Jen, because I've seen some dudes falling over some chicks, and I'll be like, if you only knew that the back of her throat smells like a rat's nest. You know what I mean?
Jeez. Where's your spray, David? Where's your spray?
It's like,
You know
you
what?
don't want to ruin anyone's image of a particular celebrity.
I'll back it up with a little Swiffer too.
Mhm.
I feel dirty.
Jesus, age. So the business is grimy, and then there's the factor of, and then we can move on to the topic. But then there's that factor of, I was telling the guys earlier, where the mothers. Where was Usher's mother? Where was and I am not victim blaming. Listen to what the fuck I said, because you guys Gmail me the most stupid shit that I didn't say. I'm asking, where were the mothers? You saw how young Justin Bieber was in that video. What was he, like fucking 11, 12?
Yeah.
A little boy, Usher. So you're just gonna hand over your son to Diddy? You're just gonna hand him over? I mean, Diddy was like, yeah, I got Justin Bieber for the next 48 hours, and we can't say where we're going and what we're doing, but it's a 16-year-old boy's, 15-year-old boy's dream come true. And then Justin was like, yeah, let's go get some girls. And as a mother, you just hand them over.
Well, we've seen it, and when it comes to you're trying to push your son for fame, and the dream is for your kid to make it big. We've seen it. We've seen the alleged, well, not alleged. We've seen the Michael Jackson kids that were basically pushed, given over to Michael Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
They get star-studded. They see the money. Michael Jackson's a big star, and it tends to blind your better judgment. You would never give your kids over to any, like the next door neighbor, to sleep over at their house. But it really blinds you to it. But it's also the pursuit of, well, hey, that's Michael Jackson. This is a way to get my kid.
My daddy would have stomped Michael Jackson out till his glove fell off. Till his glove fell off. Okay.
No, listen. The funny shit was when, to this day in my mind, I can still see the reporter asking Michael, do you think that there's a problem with a grown man sleeping in bed with a child?
It was on 60 Minutes.
Yes, and Michael was like, no, I don't think anything's wrong with it. No, it's a beautiful thing. And then the reporter was like, Michael?
Let me rephrase the question.
And Michael was like, no, I think it's a beautiful thing. It's up there with the dude asking R. Kelly. It was like, is there truth to the rumor that you slept with teenage girls? And R. Kelly slapped back and was like, when we're talking teenage, how young we talking? And dude was like, I'm talking about a teenager. So, someone under the age of 20.
By teenager, what do you mean?
Yeah.
Like,
late teens or early teens.
No, it was like that. He responded like that. It was amazing.
What happened, no Saint? Watch your mics, guys.
This is the thing, though. What Haran's saying about that interview with Michael Jackson, and how he said, well, it's everybody else is wrong because you're thinking of it as sexual. It's a beautiful thing to share your bed with another child. But you kind of wanted to believe Michael Jackson because you grew up with Michael Jackson and all the videos, and you wanted to believe that he wasn't being, that was just, he grew up, he didn't have a childhood, he loves kids. But in hindsight, when you wipe off all the fame, and if you think about, would you give your kids over to anybody to have them sleep over and sleep in their bed? The answer would be no.
Absolutely
and Michael
not.
Jackson is no different.
I'm
But
gonna tell you what. I would not let the nurses take my son away from the room when he was born. You know, the
Oh my
parents letting
God.
those
No,
kids
my
sit in that
daughter,
nursery room. I was like, no. He doesn't take
my
my son.
daughter did the same thing. She was like, "You're not." She stayed. I mean, half dead to the world. She was like, "No, you will not wheel my baby away back there. I don't know what you guys are doing."
Exactly.
I don't.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, I'll go with you, but you know, you're not gonna. You don't say you're gonna take my son and come right back. Fuck off.
Right. Oh, and let me
Right.
clear something up too. Because y'all going through it in the chat, child, and even my phone texting and shit. Okay, so listen. No Saint look, no Saint said basically he didn't say that it's clear that Michael did it. He said it's clear that these people's parents sent their children off with this grown ass man to sleep in their bed. That's what he said. But people
Mhm.
like because they screaming, he ain't do it. He ain't do it.
yeah, no.
And I'm
Well,
like,
let-
that's not what he said.
Yeah, whether
Right.
he did it or not is really irrelevant. You wouldn't send your kids to sleep at some adult's house to sleep in the bed with with a grown person. You just, that's what I'm saying.
Right.
And you know,
but-
I think the population thinks they know celebrities, but you don't know a celebrity. That's not a friend of yours.
Shit.
You know?
Let's,
You
then
barely know your
I'll
friends.
say it. Then I'll say he did that shit.
I'll say that I have questions.
He
I have
did that
questions.
Not only that, but I 100% agree with No Saint. It was only because again, power, money, prestige, right? But here's the thing. Another thing that was wildly bizarre and disgusting about Michael was that he literally would trade the kids out once they hit a certain age.
Right.
Oh, God.
like what was that? What was that group? What is
Menudo?
it?
Menudo.
Menudo.
And that,
Yeah.
but see, Lily, Menudo also has a lot of scandals of pedophilia and grooming as well.
Yeah.
Okay, when
Oh.
you send your young boys, your young girls to these people, it's like you're sending them into a fucking lion's den. And with Michael, what was more disgusting was that he would trade the kids out. Like, this one's too old. Like, I like the little kids to run around with. The man was mentally ill, apparently, if nothing else. If he wasn't a pedophile, he was definitely mentally ill. He wanted to spend time with children. He would call these children on the phone and be on the phone with them for hours and hours and hours. And the parents was like, "Hey, Michael's on the phone," to the point where one of the guys that told his story, he was like, "I wouldn't even want to be on the phone with Michael that long." And I fucking believed them because kids don't like being on the phone. They're like, "I got to get back to my dinosaurs." But he said, my mom would want me to talk to Michael because it was Michael fucking Jackson.
So that's the point I was about to make, Jen. We're skating around some shit. We being real nice right now.
Ah,
Enough of that.
Yeah, enough of that. Them
let's do a
parents told-
Misa. The buck
Right.
stops here.
The book stops here. No, I gotta do it in Yala. Not on my watch. Okay.
We got to talk about that fish rotting from the head.
So let's keep it a buck. A lot of those parents sold their children. Let's just keep it a buck.
Yeah, you know what?
And I'm not
Find
talking
the
about just the
line.
Michael children. I'm talking about the Disney children, the Nickelodeon children, the Michael children, the Diddy children.
Yeah.
Like, these parents sell their children to these studios, to these executives, and stuff like that. This is, it is what it is. It's no different from when you go over to Cambodia or Thailand and them people are in desperation and they sell their children for a steak or whatever it is that they're trying to get. So this is no different.
Terrible. That's terrible. Yeah, my
That's why I'm a
daughter
French
used
fan.
to my daughter used to audition a lot. She landed herself a little Nickelodeon thing when she was little. She was very little. And they had her in the makeup chair and they're doing her hair. And Mama Bear. So I'm standing there. I'm not, you know what I mean, in your space. I'm at the doorway. Okay, I'm not I could be in your space, but I'm doing the professional thing, letting you do. And they're curling her hair. And I was like, oh, I don't use a curling iron on her hair. It's damaging. And this lady gonna turn around to me and was like, well, you could wait where the parents are waiting. I was like, fuck you say? I'm comfortable standing here.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what they do, but I don't hand my child over to. No, I will be ready. Thank you, ma'am.
And you know what too? I'm thinking about when we was doing the modeling classes
Sorry.
and stuff, and we had the kids. Like that was one of the things that really made me uncomfortable with doing the because I used to manage a model who taught classes. This is the thing, and Jen, you know this. Kids are completely different, whether their parent is around and whether their parent is not. They're going to perform completely different, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like. But at the same time, I don't want to be around nobody's kid unattended without their parent. Like even when we did my film, Devin's mom was here. Actually, that hand that you saw that was pulling that doll, that was his mama.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I don't want to because I'm like I gotta protect myself, and that's what I'm thinking with these adults. You all are not thinking about protecting yourself. Like, come on.
Yeah.
No, my dad was like pedophile paranoid. Like we couldn't stay over anybody. We couldn't stay over anybody's house. They couldn't stay over our house because he didn't want nothing, no stories to come out of our house. We couldn't get wet in the fucking fire hydrant because the clothes sticks to your skin. Like he was real. Like
Wow.
no,
Yeah.
he was super duper like vigilant.
My mother was like that.
With his kids, like very, very vigilant. You know, and it's crazy because one time, oh my God, exclusive. One time, one of my sister's boyfriends, like he was like rubbing my shoulder really. Now I was little. I was little, and I'm like, oh, family, everybody. And he was like rubbing my shoulder. I didn't. When you're a child, you don't think anything of anything.
Right.
No.
But what
But
made
you shouldn't have to.
right.
Mhm.
So what startled me was somebody was coming in the kitchen. I forgot who it was, and then he snatched his hand away, and that made me like. All right, maybe you know what I mean. You're when you're a
Right.
child now. Nothing ever happened. That man never touched me or anything. But listen, had I said just in casual conversation to my dad, "Oh my God, such and such was said," oh, murder, because my dad was already. You know what I mean? On that hyper aware about kids and stuff like that. So, you know, but thinking back, I was like, oh my God, imagine if I would have mentioned it, he would have been dead. And it would have been my fault. And that's why kids don't tell. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, you have to watch your babies. Be there. Be where your babies
Let me
are.
let me ask you something, Jen. Like if you're talking to someone, do you go on the sex offenders list and check them out?
I do.
I
have.
do too.
I have. And I even did it. Listen, whenever I moved to a new place, I did it when I moved here. You can check
Just
out
to
your
see who's
area.
around.
Yep.
Yeah.
You can check wherever you live. When you get off right now or everybody logs off, check the sex offenders list in your zip code and they will all pop up exactly where they are. Okay? Pongo.
I'm kind of close to a school, so I should be safe.
Yeah, you have to. Thank you for the super chat, Don Levon. Don Levon says, imagine Terry Crews telling a reporter, nah, I see nothing wrong with having kids in my bed. Oh.
I almost spit my drink out over that one.
Oh, there would be a protest from here to Cancun. Like the little Mexicans would be like, why are we protesting? It's Terry Crews. It was Terry Crews. Okay, está bien, Terry Crews. Listen, from here to Cancun, they'd be protesting.
They'd be like, who they protesting? The Jews.
Terry Crews. The black. I told you.
I told you, no bueno.
Don Levon, thank you so much for the second super chat. Don Levon says, if Terry Crews said that mess that MJ said, he would still be in prison right now. Yeah, and did you ever see that video with Michael Jackson where he used his real voice?
Okay,
Yes.
so Haran,
No,
you
but
might
I
know
want to
about
see it now.
I've seen a
No,
couple
but
like that.
Haran, I'm going to say Haran probably know about this because when I was in the music industry, I knew about that because my boss at the time was very close with his executive assistant, and I heard it, and I was like, and come on now, we're all Michael Jackson fans from back in the day. So it was like I was so like, what is going on here? Like, it's just it freaked me out. It
It's
freaked me
spoken
out.
voice or he's singing?
No, his regular.
His
Much
regular.
deeper.
I've never.
Yeah, it's
Much
not.
deeper.
It's not, hi, I'm Michael Jackson. It is not.
no.
It's a regular voice. I was
Yeah.
like, oh.
Yeah.
I was like, It's a regular voice. I was like, yeah, little. But you know, that's how you talk to children as well. Hi. It's like the Mickey Mouse shit.
God.
It's the
I've
Mickey
never
Mouse
well,
shit.
I want to know where I can find that.
You can find it
No,
online.
I'm gonna do that all
YouTube.
night.
YouTube. Michael Jackson's real voice. It'll come up.
It's like
What's the
it's
website
like
for
Prince.
that?
Like Prince, when the cameras are on him, he acts kind of soft and mysterious and dainty. When them shits is off, man, that motherfucker's walking like a pimp. Be like, which one of y'all motherfuckers gonna get the fuck up on here? I'm trying to sit
Facing that
down.
voice,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like it's all a motherfucking act, man. It's all an act.
Somebody
is.
said, "What about Kevin Hart? What about Kevin Hart? I don't know. You gotta elaborate, honey. I don't know
Yeah.
about Kevin Hart. What
Oh,
about
man.
Kevin
And I
Hart?
don't care. I don't care either. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know anything about Kevin Hart.
Please don't bring up nothing about Kevin Hart. I mean, he about as tall as a kid, so
That dude. Oh my,
I'm sorry.
Vegatron says, don't touch. Oh, by the way, guys, for everyone in the room, we are going to encore the Black versus Brown. What's the real issue? You guys are popping off in my comments. You got a lot of heat for me in the comments.
Right.
So feel free to come back on Thursday. We will be revisiting Black versus Brown. What's the real issue? We'll have the same panel we had before and some extra folks. So come back. You got a lot of heat for me. You got a lot of heat for me. Bring that heat on Thursday. Yeah? Yeah.
They be
Okay.
like-
Mr. Black, Mr. Black, if you're watching, please make
He's
sure
watching.
that you show up and cam up, and we can have a discussion.
So
You know what I
much
mean?
heat. So much heat.
Yeah, just
so
They
much
be
You're saying a
lighting
lot
up
of just
up.
horrible things in the chat. You're saying
Yeah, so much
horrible
heat.
shit.
So much heat for the kid. Come through, pull up. I think we can end this segment on this. Don't touch no one's kids. I barely shake hands. Give them space. Give them space. Give their people. Children are people. Give them space. And if you're
Absolutely.
a parent, don't make your kids hug anybody or kiss anybody. Go over there and talk to your uncle. They are people. They are people. Don't force them. Because then they grow up appeasing people and that's how they get caught up. Okay? If they don't want, there's a difference between rude and invading space, okay? Children, they vibe with people, okay? Like, don't do that.
Jen, before we go, it was something that you said, and I had that same fear growing up because my mother was crazy about the touching thing. Oh, she did not play. Now, when I got older, I found out why she was so but I used to grow up like thinking, please don't let nobody touch me because I'm about to tell this lady and she's gonna kill them and she's gonna be in jail and I'm not gonna have a mother because I knew my mother would kill him. Like I just went, there was no doubt about it, like not 2 seconds. So
We need listen, society needs killer parents. I said it.
Yeah.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
It's just us.
Yes, they do. They
We
balance
need
shit
killer
out.
parents. Yeah, they do. Because listen, okay, so tonight's topic is something that Haran and I went back and forth about behind the scenes. We sure did. We was on opposite ends. The ladies aren't going to like me tonight. The ladies are not going to like me tonight. But I always say, like me. Don't fall in love with me because I'll break your heart. Okay? a lot of women are like, yeah, girl power. And then the next day I'm going to be like, you bitches are fat. And then you don't like me anymore. So... Like me, don't fall in love, honey. Don't fall in love.
And gentlemen don't like me tonight. Most of you still suck. So, you know.
They're gonna like you tonight. They're gonna like you tonight. Tonight's topic is something that I see a lot of. And I think I'm gonna be team guys tonight. So the women are gonna be like, right? I'll be team guys tonight. Tonight's topic: are men not allowed to have preferences? Are men not allowed to have preferences? There was a video specifically where a man was telling a woman, listen, after I found out you were a single mom, I said, not for me. Okay. He was on stage with several women and the women went wild on him because he had a preference of, I don't want to date, you remind me of my mom. My mom raised me as a single mother. There was a lot of struggle and strife and I don't want any parts of that. Right. I thought it was justified. Haran had something else because he had some extra information about how the video went on. So Haran, you tell me.
Well, here's the thing. First of all, let me first say this. I am of the school of believing that childless people need to date childless people, and people with kids need to date people with kids. Now, first of all, with this individual right here, did he have a right not to say, no, I don't want to date a single mother? Yes, he has that right. However, he did not have to be nasty about it and say that because I'm a high value man and be facetious and be disrespectful and so on and so forth. All that isn't fucking necessary. Because we also need to also mention that there's a lot of men out there who have like 5 or 6 baby mamas and will go out there and intentionally find a woman that is childless. Okay? So we need to so here's my stance. You can have your preference, provided that you are in the position to prefer something. You know, you can have your preference, but there's no reason to be arrogant. No. Let's be clear here. Okay? If you are making a certain degree of money, if you're at a certain degree of status, you have the ability and you have the right to have a preference. You have the right to move a certain way. If you are broke, nigga, you better take whatever the fuck we got in the back. And you better like it. Okay? If you are a homosexual, you have no right to come in anyone's basement or anyone's room talking about you need to lose weight. There's too many kids in here. You know what I mean? You get whatever the fuck we got in the clearance bin. All right? And I'll pass the mic on that.
I will say this. I didn't see what you saw, Haran. You put a lot of hot sauce on that. You just kept pouring the hot sauce because I saw the same video. I don't think he was facetious. I think he was very direct. I'm a direct person. I appreciate people who are direct. He was just like, look, you remind me of X, Y, and Z. I don't want any parts of that. I'm a high value man. I don't mind people saying they're high value if they really are high value. And listen, I'm not from the school of, oh, we're all lovely and beautiful and no one's better than anybody. That's a crock of shit. There are a lot of people that are better than you. Lots of people that are better than you. That is a fact of life. Point blank, period. You got employees, you got the boss, you got the motherfucking CEO, okay? And if you don't like your position, don't get mad at the people above you. Do something about your position. I didn't see him putting a lot of stank on it. I think they automatically got offended because they felt insecure about being single mothers. That's what I thought. And I have more to say, but I will pass the mic.
I will say one more thing, though. I will say one more thing. If you got like 5 or 6 kids and you're like 200 pounds, a 6-figure dude, it's nice to want that. I want a Lamborghini in about 5 minutes. We can want a lot of things. But since you're not in the position, again, to prefer anything, you got a gang of kids, you're built like a pawn shop sofa.
Okay, all right. So let me see. I was about to pass the mic, but you had to say some shit. So now I got to come back on you. Okay.
Okay.
And then I'll pass the mic. This woman is a single mother, right? Trying to get the attention and commitment of a man who has no children. What gives her the right? She is in no position to want a man. She can want him like you want the Lamborghini, okay? She can want him, but she's not privileged because she has a vagina. She should get a man that doesn't have children. He doesn't have children. Why is he going to lock into now I have to be a stepfather, which is a very big job.
Even bigger than that, now I got to deal with that kid's father. You know what I mean? You inherit all kinds of stuff. I had that happen once. You know, I did date girls once.
David, that's a whole other topic.
Oh yeah, that was my first 20 years.
Let me find out Dave was out here.
Lily,
I love it.
Lily knows that thing.
Dave was out here playboy.
I did have this one girl that I was dating, and we both had kids about the same age, young. I think they were probably 5. And we dated before introducing the kids for a while. Then we introduced the kids. Her kid was crazy. I broke up the next day. I was like, no, your kid spits on the fucking TV screen. In your house.
You got to go.
Nah, bye.
Yeah,
Wait,
See,
what?
that's another thing.
it's
So
tricky.
So
listen,
I'm not
going.
on board. I'm not on board. I don't think that's a big consideration for a
It
single
is.
dude. A big consideration.
Listen,
Okay.
I said to somebody a couple of days ago, my stepdad raised my brother and I since we were practically damn bit well, I was 4, my brother was 2 or something like that, 4 or 5, something like that.
Mhm.
And I'm like 42-year-old me looks back and like, why the hell did he do that? Like literally, like I literally like the adult me wonders why he did it. I'm glad he did because he was wonderful in doing it, and him and my mother are still together today, and they're awesome. But he was single, very nice looking,
Wow.
good job, good money, and he never had any other children. He raised my brother and I, and that was it. Now I asked my mother when in my late teens, I was like, do you think he ever like regretted not having his own children? My mother was like, oh no, he's selfish. Don't worry about that. She was like, it was hard enough him to deal with you all. He's good. He's good. I'm like, damn, you didn't even ask him. Like,
Wow.
Okay, so your mama had that wop, is what happened.
I get it from my mama. And I get it from my mama.
That's what happened. No, Saint, hurry up and
Yes.
say something because I'm gonna get back in here. My gloves are
No,
on.
no. I mean, I Haran made some really good points. I have to agree with some of the stuff you're saying, but what I'll say is this: for people to get upset, listen, they're just mad. They may be mad because they're in a position to where they can't get whatever man they desire.
Mhm.
But guess what? There are men that are high value that will take on that responsibility. And no use getting mad at the one. I see nothing wrong with what the guy said. And to the point on people on the panel, like, to take on someone else's kid, I couldn't do it. I mean, personally, I couldn't do it. Now, if we both had kids and we're merging like the Brady Bunch or something, okay, yeah, that's one thing. But if I'm a single guy, no kids, no. Especially when you want your own kids, and you want your own kids, and then you're gonna take. No, I couldn't see it. So I totally see where the guy was coming from, and I don't think someone should be get upset about that.
They were good and upset.
Yeah,
Even the host jumped in on it. They were good and upset. Now, Haran, you were saying that he didn't have to be disrespectful and say, like, here's the thing. When someone is expressing their preferences, the other person always takes it as fucking disrespect.
Yeah.
I just don't want you.
Yes.
And if that's disrespectful to you, then call it what you want. Then I respect me more, whatever. But if you notice, people are like, oh, well then, but don't talk bad about them. No. Okay. Teach me, panel. How can I say I don't want a fucking thing without hurting the feelings of the other person? Rejection is gonna hurt. That's rejection. You want me to light a candle? You want me to light a candle? What do you want me to do?
I'll tell you. I'll tell you. Recently, I'll tell you the story, Jen. I remember the story about well, I'll just say it anyway. Recently, a friend of mine tried to hook me up with a woman. Nice looking woman.
Mhm.
He was like, oh yeah, by the way, she's got 2 kids. I was like, whoa. Whoa.
Oh, wait a minute. Not
And I
you.
was like,
You were kidding.
No, wait. I didn't say. I said that people with children need to date people with children. However, there is a caveat. For me, it depends on how old the kids are. I was like, okay, how old are these children?
So you have a preference.
Yes, I do. But I was like, how old are these children? And he said, one's 8 and the other's 2. I said, oh, hell no. You're asking me to start all over again. What are you, nuts?
Right.
I got a 10-year-old. I was like, wait a minute. What's the gender of both of the children? They're 2 girls. Oh, wait a minute. I'm supposed to sign up for 3 girls? Like, what are you, nuts? Are you asking me to go to jail?
Listen,
are you asking this?
that kid is 2. She still has her baby daddy's dead sperm swimming around. The kid is only fucking 2.
Exactly. I'm like, dude,
No, sir.
dude, there's no way in hell. She was like, nah. She said that she's got everything. You don't got to contribute shit. I'm like, dude, there's no way in hell I'm over there digging her out, getting motherfucking sweet potato pie, and at some point in time, I'm not expected to put down on diapers and throw down on some school fees. It's not gonna happen.
Let's go.
I've been in the game for years. Don't lie to me, bro.
You're gonna at least
Right.
take them. You're gonna at least
Okay,
take them to daycare or pick them up.
So necessary evil. What's up, beautiful lady? She says this doesn't work. I mean, it sounds great in theory, doesn't it? She says, "I'm not interested. Will do." That's not
Yeah.
how people work. That's not how people work, though. That's not. But
It's
why?
true.
But why? But what's wrong? But why?
Right.
But why? It's never. I've never
I've seen you
said.
let people down easy. I've seen you let people down easy, though.
I say
I've
I'm
seen
not
you-
interested.
Yeah, I've seen you say, "No, I'm good," blah blah blah. I've never seen you come out and disrespect a motherfucker unless he does not get the point. He does not get the hint. You know what I mean?
And,
I've
and
seen
how
you
and
come
how
in from-
often don't they get the hint?
That's
Almost
not the
all the
point.
time.
That's not what
Right.
we're talking about right now. I'm just
It's not.
saying that initially, you do not come out with guns blazing. This man initially came out in a very disrespectful and smug manner. It wasn't necessary. That is my-
Necessary evil. You could take a seat next to No Saint because I've destroyed many. I've torn them limb from motherfucking limb because dudes are disrespectful and they don't understand when you say, "Hey, I'm not interested," or "No, thank you." "Hey, Jen, can I take you to the?" "No, thank you. I'm good." "Yeah, but why?" "Oh, I see you like that type of man." Fuck you, your mama, and that crooked horse you rode in on now. I said no, and no should be enough. Women should not, I say this all the time, women should not have to explain their no.
Right. It's a complete sentence.
Women should not have to explain their no. But for some reason in this society, women are constantly being told to explain their no. No is enough. No, thank you.
Yeah, it's
And at the
really
same
weird.
time,
And
oh, go ahead.
well, I'm going to add to that, and we shouldn't have to feel unsafe to say no. That's the other thing. Jen, I'm pretty sure you've done that too. You're just like you feel unsafe. So you're trying to make sure it comes out in the most like easy tone as possible because I'm not trying to get a brick thrown to the left side of my head. Like, you're like, "Hey, sweetie."
Lily, I'm registered and insured. I feel plenty.
Take it.
I say no nice and loud, like, "Come at me, bro.
Because sometimes I'm like,
Put your mama in a black dress, bitch. I'm not the one." Anyway, so but no, yes, women should not have to explain their no's, and it's not as easy. Maybe for men, maybe it's easy for a man to, I don't know, you guys could correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's easier for a man to reject women than it is for women to reject men, because men, in my opinion, they're kind of programmed to think or believe, and listen, do not fucking Gmail me and waste my fucking time and make me think it's business. But men, I don't know, I think they grow up thinking that women are their subordinates and they're supposed to appease them and be nice and sweet and so I think when you tell a man no, it's harder for him to swallow. It's like, no, you're supposed to be nice. I mean, we can't even walk down the street and not look like this and I'd be like, "What's wrong? Smile. The fuck is wrong with you?" Insane people just walk down the street smiling. What is wrong with you?
so the moral of the story, men, is to spit, not swallow.
No.
I swallow.
This is for the gentleman. This is for the
and that's
gentleman.
why you can't get rid of nobody. That's why you can't get rid of nobody because you swallow.
Hey, I had to be in a committed relationship, and then you get the Gen Platinum package. Everybody doesn't get the Gen Platinum package.
Right, exactly. The platinum package is like that's when you get the whole swallow.
Some people get the basic package, Lily, with the 3 channels. Some people get the basic package. Some people get that platinum package where you got sports. You got sports from all over the world. Okay.
Oh shit! Oh
So,
shit!
like, how many? I just want to ask the ladies, how many times
Oh God.
has the street holla like landed?
Damn.
Oh, you know him, David.
Really?
I gotta say never. I'm thinking about like my long-term relationships was never a street holler. Well, I'm lying. It was street holler, but it was by me.
Again, that's why as a man, it's never don't say anything. They'll do everything for you. They'll literally trip over your foot. You know what I mean? They will literally throw water in your face by
No,
accident.
I can't say that I've ever been walking down a New York City block and said, "Hey ma, and I was like, oh, "You're the one." Like, no, that's never happened.
No,
because I've seen
no,
that. Like when I see it, and
wasn't
it's so
done like that.
relentless, I'm like, does that ever work for you, dude? Has that ever worked?
Yeah, no, it wasn't done like that. And the person I'm talking about, David, is the one who I was with when we met. But
All right.
it wasn't a like Avon. It was me crossing the street, him at the red light, and then we kind of locked eyes, and then he made a U-turn and came back, and then
now
but the way,
that's
yeah,
a
and the
moment.
right, and the approach was very, very. He said, "Listen, if the first thing he said about if I'm bothering you, let me know, and I'll pull off." And I was like, "Okay, see, I like that. Like he's already giving me like my understand that I have choices." In this situation, so I don't feel unsafe. Now you like, so that's what made me say, no, what's up? What do you what do you want? I knew what he wanted when the eyes locked when he was at the red light, but so that was different. It wasn't no, hey ma, what you doing? Like it wasn't none of that.
So Lila, you're saying,
say no.
So Lila, you're saying that presentation is important.
Very important.
Pitch
And
and presentation is important.
He had a nice car too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hit that like, hit that
Which
like.
helps, right?
It
helps.
helped.
Hell yeah, you in a nice car. You dress well. Look like you washed your ass that day. You know what I'm saying? Look.
This is a
You get a free game on this motherfucker.
Tucson.
You get a.
Who's that? This too is true. Jay Cavassier says they think that if they're persistent enough, they'll eventually wear y'all down. That's true. Men are like
that's
that.
What I was gonna say. That's the reason. I think that's the reason why it's so hard when you're saying why can't it just be no? Because we're kind of trained to like pursue,
Yeah.
But to bring back to what we were talking about. I just don't understand. Like, I didn't see the video. So Haran saying it was done disrespectfully. This guy thinks he's a high value man. He doesn't want to go out. He doesn't want any woman with a child. But what I don't understand is the reaction that evidently everybody was giving him like, oh, how can you be like that? It's like, Jen sits up here and she says she's never going to spread her legs for a white guy. I don't get pissed off about it. Why am I going to, what does it have to do with me? I mean,
and that's the other half of the argument, no saying.
Yeah.
Everyone thinks that everyone is entitled to the same shit. No, there's levels to this shit. So there's levels to this shit. Like, look, like one of the things is like this. Okay, let's just talk about our favorite little subject. The coffee date. You know what I mean?
Right.
The shit, that little hot topic that people can't seem to get enough of. The coffee date and the science behind this. The science behind this is that the reason why these men are doing that is because they're managing risk, and in their mind they're like, well, she let some other dude hit for free. I didn't have to, he didn't have to go on a coffee date. And so on and so forth. And my response to that is that, you know what? You're absolutely right. She probably did, but that's a clear indication that you're not that dude.
Right.
You're not that guy. There's times in everyone's life where it's just like, yeah, but you're just not that guy. There's just certain people who, you're going to have to pay for coffee. Yeah, there's certain people that, you might have to pay for a bigger date. You might have to do a little bit more convincing. And some other people in life, they just kick in the door. Motherfucking panties just literally come off by some sort of remote control, and shit like that. And everyone's happy because it's called life. It's called hierarchies. It's just called the game, man. Everybody's not going to do this, get the same amount of treatment. It's impossible.
But what I'm saying is this. So to bring it back to this guy and what I was saying about Jen. Okay, so
please hit the like for me. Please hit the like for me. Thank you.
So if I'm interested in Jen, right? And she says, I'm not interested. I don't date white guys. There's somebody out there that looks similar to Jen that will be that will go out with me
In a heartbeat. Look at all these
Yeah,
Latin
so, I mean,
actresses.
So just because, okay, it's not Jen. Okay, that's her preference. You know,
Mhm.
why am I
Okay.
going to get upset? Why am I
I
going to get
think
upset?
I know. I think I know.
I
what's
can't
going
do it,
on.
no saint. Hit me in 500 years. We still too close to slavery. I can't do it.
Yeah, it's a little bit close.
A
The
little,
math
it's a little
has to
fresh.
balance
Too soon. Too soon,
The
no
math
saint. Too
has to
soon.
balance out.
Yeah, just gotta
Too soon.
level
Right
the
now,
playing field.
I can go as far as Jason Momoa because he's still indigenous and he's Hawaiian.
We're not at
It's
Brad Pitt yet. We're not at Brad Pitt
no,
yet.
no, 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 no. 500 years. Check back with me in 500 years, no
Well, we
saint.
need to go to cry. What is it? Cry. What's that thing where you freeze people?
Cryogenic chamber.
Cryogenic.
Yeah,
Right.
Cryogenics. Yeah.
Right.
So my question is, what I'm thinking is, when a lot of these women get upset like this, I feel like
Mhm.
the guy who made the statement is their preference.
Yes,
Yes.
Yeah.
yes. Speak
That's
on
what
it.
it is. That's what I'm seeing here. You know, because I'm like you all. Like, okay, if someone
Look at
says
the thumbnail. Look at the thumbnail. It's usually that guy that they're
Yeah.
mad that
Yeah.
doesn't want them.
right, exactly, because if it was like somebody who was unsightly, they would be like, "Oh, child, scroll, keep scrolling." They
Facts.
it wouldn't even hit them,
Facts.
right? But like for me, if someone said, and if someone says like, "Oh, you're attractive, but I don't date trans women," okay.
Move on.
Yeah.
It's no big deal because there's no one in this world that everybody wants to date. There's nobody in this
Absolutely.
world who is everybody's preference. Why the hell do people take that? But then I think about it, it's probably because it was their preference and
Yep.
they feeling personally attacked.
Yeah.
And guys, before you get all, you get hard on by hearing that you're guilty of doing the same shit too.
Yeah.
Because most of you are upset because it's the girl you want that doesn't want you. There's no drought of women out here. There's so many good women. No, you're out here. You're angry. You're like, why does she want me? You know what I mean? That's what most of y'all are. You're upset. The girl you want doesn't want you, and that's okay because there's a sloth of pickings out here, man. It's sloth.
Yeah. And at the same time, kind of deliberate, low-key persistence can pay off. I've heard that a million times in the past, but I think that steady, I keep saying no, you keep saying hey kind of shit gets tired. But,
Well, I mean, David, I'm going on a date soon with a man who's been trying to date me for like 10 years now. Or a little
Really?
over 10 years. Yeah.
That's what I'm talking
Ladies
about.
and gentlemen, we need to provide
However,
a disclaimer.
However,
Uh-oh.
we will provide a disclaimer. He is very, very well built, very successful, nice home, nice car, right? It's just we've always been off or in different states. So I just didn't want to bother. And then I thought he was kind of boring. And then I was like, I don't know. And then he asked me out recently. And I was like, dude, we spoke one time on FaceTime. You didn't have anything to say. And I know if I say yes to you, you're going to ask me, okay, where do you want to go? I'm not doing that. I'm almost 50. Fucking decide where you want to take me. And this is how I'm responding to him. I'm like, this is why I haven't even, bothered. I feel like your ideal date, he's a fisherman, like an official fisherman, sports fisherman, and I'm like, your idea of a dream date is you fishing and me fucking laying out on the boat. No, I'm not. I don't want to do that. So he was like, no, I didn't talk on FaceTime. Maybe I was having a shy moment and I know exactly where I want to take you. So I was like, all right, you know what? Let's do it. And you saw how he responded, Haran, because you didn't like how he responded.
No, I
Haran
really
like how
didn't.
he responded.
I really didn't.
What's wrong with, gentlemen, lady? What's wrong with how he responded? Go ahead, Haran. He didn't like it.
The guy was like, yes, finally. And I'm like, oh, Jesus.
I don't like that either. I don't like it
It
either.
just
I
sounded
don't
like,
like it.
it just sounded like, it's just like, oh my God. Like I told you, Jen, it sounded like somebody from Publishers Clearinghouse knocked on the goddamn door. Gave them a check. And he was like, yes, I've been doing this for 15 years. And then I'm just like,
It's
bro,
been over a decade,
bro.
Haran.
oh, this be cool to be like, Okay, you know what I mean? I'll pick you up at 8,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Great,
Right.
you know what I mean? Whatever. Don't just be like, oh
Right.
God, yes, oh God. You know what I mean? Like,
Thank
no,
you.
no.
You putting a lot of sauce on it, Haran.
Whoa,
You're putting a lot of sauce on
what
it.
it looked like. I was rooting for the dude until I saw that. I was like, oh, God damn it. You know what I mean?
Listen, he
And
wasn't.
ladies and
Let's
gentlemen,
be
one thing.
fair. Let's
One
be
thing.
fair.
No
One thing I
Saint,
want to
get
say
in
was
there. No Saint, this is where you. This is you. You're
Let's
up.
be fair.
You're up. No Saint.
The guy wasn't expecting Haran to be reading his comment.
That's true. This is true. This is true.
That's a weak. That's
He
a
was
weak
trying to show
point.
appreciation. You know,
That's a weak
Right,
point.
get in there, no Saint. Get in there, no Saint.
That's a
You know,
weak
and-
point.
I
Jesus
hear you, but
Christ.
listen. We sometimes guys will say things hoping that somebody else, some other guy's not gonna read it. He's trying to show
I mean, how does this
Listen,
guy,
I need my committee though to approve shit. I'm
Right.
sorry.
I mean,
Right.
how does this?
Yep.
How does this guy look like? How does this guy act when he catches a fucking fish? Like, what does that even look like?
The boat would be rocking. The boat would be like.
Jesus Christ. Like, dude, relax.
See, but here's the thing. Check this out. Check this out. Okay, and I'm gonna be. Let's be very superficial, and I'm gonna show everybody how much of an asshole I am. He's very good looking. He stays in the gym. Okay, ex-military, whatever. Had he not looked that good and said that, yeah, I would have seen your point of view.
Right, but see, that's the
You
thing.
see,
But
this
it's
is it.
fine. But
we
it's
gotta be-
fine.
Right, we
This
gotta be
is
honest
it.
about this shit. Like
This
that's the
is it. See,
truth.
fellas.
He's
See,
your
fellas, this is it. See, fellas, this is it, man. You keep belly aching and like, what are you doing? She let him get away with that shit because he's attractive.
I did.
Because she finds him
I
attractive.
did.
If women find you attractive, if women feel that, yeah, this is the guy, they will let you get away with damn near any goofy fucking shit. You know what I mean? Until
Yeah.
you literally get on their fucking nerves and
Yeah.
they're done with you. Okay? The reason why
Yeah.
you're still paying for coffee dates and you're not that guy that took her in the back of a hatchback and rammed her fucking out for like a good fucking hour is because you're not ex-military, you're not 6'12". You know what I mean?
He's not 6'12".
Well,
And
Right, he's built.
you're not
Technically,
cutting
that's-
shredded out of stone. Okay, you're
Yeah.
5'3". You're
You're
5'3". You got some things going on. You just cleared up your skin. So here, this is why you have a coffee date.
And he gets the break for possibly being boring.
Oh yeah.
Possibly
I mean, he
being
has to
boring.
be,
I'm afraid-
ladies and gentlemen, this guy has to be incredible because Jen is going to go fishing. Jen doesn't go fishing
on,
with
you
a
agree?
Oh, no,
motherfucker.
no, no. I did not agree to the fishing,
You
sir.
go fishing?
I was
Oh,
listening about this, Jen.
Remember a fish rots from the head, all of that, Lisa? I will not be going
Okay.
fishing.
This isn't the guy who wanted to take you fishing before, right?
It
Yeah.
is.
That's
Oh.
the
Yes,
same
no
thing.
Saint.
Oh.
Yes.
I don't know about
Quick
a fishing
disclaimer,
game.
though.
If you're a professional
Quick disclaimer.
fishing date.
Quick disclaimer here on the block with Jen. There's a very, very thin line between persistence and harassment. You have to figure that out. If legalities are involved, it's a clear indication on what side of the fence you fall on. We are not telling you to go down certain roads.
Yeah,
if it involves an indictment,
If you're not
Yeah.
attractive, that's harassment.
Exactly.
So I had to admit, and listen, I'm not looking at this guy like, oh, he's the one for possible long term whatever. I'm like, he's a good look. We're gonna look really good walking in the restaurant, right? You know what I mean? He's a good look. I like
Have
good
fun.
looking things. I like,
it's
yeah,
an
it's like
experience.
right. It's an experience. I got the time. I'm single. But I'm not. You know, I've known him. And I could be wrong, and you guys could correct me if I'm wrong. I could be very wrong. But I feel like when I know someone over a decade and like sparks haven't flown, I don't think the sparks will fly, but I think there'll be good company. You know what I mean? Like a fun person. So that's how I'm looking at it. He's just a good look. He's a very, very good looking guy. He's respectful. He's ex-military. He looks amazing. He stays in the gym. He does his fishing thing. But I just know from the outside looking in, I would think that our relationship, if we got in a relationship, would be monotonous, extremely. Like he'd be like he's a fisherman, like a real fisherman. I'd be fucking sick of the fish smell in the house, and You're always up at 4 o'clock in the fucking morning to get out on the water. What else are we gonna do? Like I know me. I know me.
Have them
He's-
teach
And you know what though, the manner in which Jen is handling this situation, I wish a lot of you young guys, especially in your 20s, handled the idea of courting. Because a lot of y'all, I guess maybe it's a generational thing. You sound really weird. You say things like, "Oh, I just want to find a girl I can settle down with who has a low body count, and she's a nice girl, and we can probably have a family, and we can probably, go to dates together." I'm like, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah.
bro, just go out there and fuck. Just worry about that first. Worry about that. Well, perfect your stroke. Figure out what you want to do with your life. Then go out there and be like, okay, yeah, I got a good deep hitter. I know how to work this shit. I got some money in the bank account. Let me go get a family.
That's how you do it.
You know
That's
what I
how you
mean?
do it, in
You do
that
sound
order.
weird. You do sound weird, man. I just can't relate to it, man.
Yeah. And also
and
he has a young child, and that's a no for me.
Oh yeah, well yeah. But I always tell young people when they come up to me and they start talking about they settling down and they're under 25, I'm always just like, why would you do? And they're like, well, what? I'm like, go be a hoe. What are you doing? What are you doing with your life?
Yeah.
Like this is your time. Your 20s is your experimental decade, because before your 20s, mom and dad or whoever you was with was telling you when to go, when to come, when to turn the lights off, when to go to school, all of that stuff. Now, this is your decade of figuring this shit out for real, right? You ain't got no business settling down with nobody. Like, oh God, they just being so in a rush. Child, it ain't that
I don't
deep.
understand it. Yeah.
So somebody asked an interesting question I think we should answer. Who was it? Where was it? He said, take her to Chuck E. Cheese. Shit.
Ah.
Damn. Damn. Oh, God.
I always thought of Chuck E. Cheese, like right next to that big giant gumball machine, they should have a big giant Advil machine for the parents, because my God, that place.
I think
is a living
this
migraine.
is I think it's different in the age of social media. Oh My Vegatron said that's a fact. It's weird to push it or hang around someone you had to convince to like you, move on. But with social media, it's different because you're constantly looking at this person. You can move on before social media because you're not going to see that person. Now they're on your friends list. You're seeing them on when they go out with their girlfriends. You're seeing them in their bikinis. You're seeing them be funny. So they're literally still in your face. So it's easy to keep like, well, let me try this month, or let me try this winter, or let me say happy Thanksgiving to her, or let me say happy, you know what I mean? It's different than before social media. No one ever really leaves now unless you block them.
Nah,
No one ever really
and even then, it's kind of hard
Even
because
then.
you could have mutual friends. You could have mutual friends, and you see a motherfucker in a photo. You know what I mean? You might be in a chat group together. You know what I mean? It's just
But
no one leaves each
I'll
other.
update you. I will update you on the date. I will update you for sure because it'll be my first time seeing him in person. Never seen him in person.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right.
I've never seen him in person.
It's been a couple of people I blocked on my social media, right? And I'm up here doing the show, and I look in the chat, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh shit! You found me. Someone please call 911. Tova said, does anyone else feel bad when rejecting people? I do. Does anyone on the panel feel bad? Like, damn.
I don't feel bad. I'm
bad?
just more. No, it's more about my safety. Like, it's more about that when I'm on the street, and then but I don't feel bad because I'm not being mean. I'm being
respectful
nasty.
though.
Yeah,
I'm respectful though. I believe in being a gentleman, unless somebody gets out of pocket. You know what I mean? I'm not. Yeah, I just respectfully decline and so on. I will say this though. I have been blocked maybe 2 or 3 times.
I believe you.
Well, we've all been blocked.
Yeah.
I've just, you know, I mean, her and her cousin blocked me.
I feel like over time I've like developed this sense, we all have our public personas and we meet like so many people. Like Fashion Week's like fucking obscene, like 500 new faces and names to remember ain't gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
But over time, I feel like I've developed almost this sixth sense that I know if there is any potential there. You know what I mean? And if I feel nothing but a void, I'm gonna let it down right then and there and say, you know what, this isn't for me. But good luck there, guy.
Good
Go
luck.
get 'em.
Go get him.
I would say this though. I was telling Jen the other day, like I've already, you know, what I mean, rested in the fact that, well, the possibility that I'll never get married, possibly never, you know, settle down. You know, what I mean, you know, and you know, it's cool. You know, I mean, at the end of the day, I look at it like this: Jen will just be my fucking wife. She'll, you know what I mean? I'll just, because it's kind of like that way. Because, like, you know, I'll eat her food, we argue,
What
and
is
we
going
won't
on?
have sex. We literally will be a married
It
couple.
really
You
is
know
a
what I
married
mean?
couple. Yeah.
We literally
What is
will,
that?
we won't have sex. I'll eat her food and we'll argue. So it literally will be a married couple. And I'll
Oh
go
my
outside the
God.
marriage and I'll have sex. So it'll
That
literally be
sounds
a
like a.
modern day marriage.
But you know what?
Listen.
If married couples negotiated this shit from the jump and say, listen, okay, you get a one boyfriend, you get one girlfriend, okay, keep her out of my face. Keep her out of my bed, right? like negotiate the shit from the jump, and maybe we won't have so much stuff going on because it's going to happen.
Yes.
It's going to happen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, to
Yes.
answer the question, I don't feel bad rejecting people at all. It's just not, life's too short, and everybody's not for everybody. You just have to stay in your lane. It sounds cliche, but stay in your fucking lane. The same way you don't run up in Rolls Royce and say, "Hey, can you take my 50K for this Rolls Royce?" It's the same way you should approach women. You know when someone is out of your league. I know men have a glitch in their system, but you
Unless
know
they're
when
Jamaican.
yeah. Well, Haran is
Jamaicans
Jamaican.
don't.
Haran
Yeah,
is
well, I'm not
Jamaican.
talking about. He's not Jamaican enough. Like these Jamaicans in Flatbush, they real Jamaican.
You
I
sound
know,
like
I know,
you sound like you sound
I
like a
know what she
casting
means.
agent. You sound
I
like a
know what she
casting
means.
agent, Lily. You're
I
not
know what she
Jamaican.
means.
No, because
Could
a
you be more
casting agent
Jamaican?
has a
No,
casting agent has never cast an actual Jamaican in anything. Like
That's
I've
true.
never seen a movie. It's always some fucked up, stupid
Thank you.
accent.
Thank
It's
you.
absolute
Thank
bullshit.
you.
And there's a billion great Jamaican actors out there.
Thank you.
What the
Thank
fuck?
you. But I can understand what Lily is saying because our men can be rather aggressive. You know what I mean? You're the Empress. Come here now, baby. Let me talk to you.
Right. And I'm like, sir, you could have at
Oh,
least
yeah,
put your
mom.
teeth in. I'm like, you
Yeah.
could have at least put your
Oh
teeth
my
in before
God.
you
There's
hollered
very,
at me.
very few men are as arrogant and are as confident as an ugly Jamaican man.
Oh
Very,
my goodness.
very few
Yes.
men.
I mean, the uglier, the more confident. I'm like, wow,
No,
this is
no.
impressive. This is impressive. Like when I go to Flatbush, I'm just always I'm like, wow, this is very interesting.
Yo, look,
Very sad.
listen. And when it comes to Jamaicans, we as men, there's a reason why we're like that, because we're very much conditioned from our youth to be good with women. It's the truth. We're very much conditioned. Even my grandmother, you know what I mean, she would be like, yeah, I see me little grandson. Him the goddamn sugar. You don't know I say that. You know what I mean? Like shit like that.
Wow.
You know what I mean? It's a certain pride in our community.
Kari said, never seen him in person, only know via social media. No, I've known him beyond social media. Funny thing, long story short, my bestie from New York, who's also a photographer, used to take pictures of his ex-wife. And I don't know how him and I met. Probably, I don't know how him and I, maybe on social media. And then I was like, oh, hold up. I've seen your wife in my photographer's gallery. He was like, oh, no, that's my ex-wife. We're in the middle of a divorce. So I was like, oh, my bad. And then over the years, and that divorce happened, and I went on, was in a relationship. I don't know what he was doing. And then like 10 plus years later, he moves out here. He lives out here now. And we kind of, hey, I live out here now. And I was like, for real? That's cool. And I was like, hey, you want to go? He was like, yeah, you want to go fishing? I'm like, no, I don't fucking want to go fishing. I don't fucking want to go fishing. No. So,
Want
and
to
I'm,
come to work with me? Want to spend the day at work with me?
okay, so that was my point right there. I'm like, you can't just like live a whole lifestyle and then think you're just gonna add a girl to it. That's not how it works. I don't want to go fishing. People are like in the chat, fishing is fun. You go fucking fishing with him then. I don't want to fucking go fishing. And then I would think that, you know what I mean? And it's not like I don't want to go fishing because I want caviar. I'm giving him all kinds of things. Let's go laser tag. Listen, there's an adult bouncy house coming into town and you can drink and bounce. So like, I'm like, let's do that. Like, let's catch a movie. Let's do it. Oh, okay. Well, and then he was like, you know, he doesn't come out late. And I was like, dude, you're giving me old, and old people, like old, not old people as an age, but old acting people make my ass itch. Like, I don't, no, I don't, and I know 20-something-year-olds that act old, get away from me. Because I got a lot of life left in me. Like, I don't want them people that just mosey along in life. And it's like, oh, woe is me. Get away. I don't want you in my cipher. I don't want you in my cipher. So I'm telling him, you know what I mean? Let's go to the bouncy house. Let's laser tag. Let's, you know what I mean? And he didn't seem like he was enthusiastic about that. Like, he was like, oh man, you don't want to go fishing? Well, I don't really know what else to do. And I was like, ugh, cringe. So then I didn't talk to him, and that maybe was a year and a half ago. And then the other day on Facebook, he's like, hey, are you ever gonna let me take you out? And I was like, dude, we spoke on FaceTime. You were quiet. You want to take me fishing? I'm not fucking going fishing. And if I say yes to you, you're just gonna throw it back at me and say, okay, where do you want to go? I was like, so I'm not interested. And he was like, that's not true. And that's when he gave me his little breakdown. And I was like, all right, fucking fine. Okay.
Miss Ruth, where are you located? She said she's gonna cook me some soft fish and aki. Where are you located, ma'am?
Oh shit, Miss Ruth is at the burners.
Right.
I get to know, Jen. I don't know. About those old acting young people, I get a little mad when I recognize the old man shit that I do. I'll be up in the morning and I recognize that I am watching CBS News, having a cup of coffee and some Raisin Bran, and I'm like, fuck, what the fuck am I doing?
Throw the Raisin Bran out. What the fuck is this?
Well, why? How do I change this?
Go get Fruity Pebbles. David, get you a box of Fruity Pebbles. Put in the cabinet.
Oh, no. What did you say yesterday, Haran? Sprinkled Cheerios?
Oh my God.
That's what I want. They're not a thing, but they're gonna be.
Okay, all right.
Gonna be on the box.
I think they got like fucking frosted Cheerios at this point. They got all kinds of Cheerios. So I'm about to retire Facebook Jake Vossier. Yeah, so I'm like, you know, again, he's a nice guy. He's never been disrespectful. He's a good look. That's some good breeding right there. Like I say, some good breeding. So I'll go out. I'll see what I'm curious to see. He was like, you're gonna like what I got in mind. I was like, okay, we'll see. Good. I like surprise. Okay. We'll see. I'll keep you posted.
Yes.
But live stream it.
I thought that myself.
Hey guys, I'm out with the fisherman. Hi, say hi.
I think they're serious because it does sound like it'd be interesting. Give them a little 5 minutes.
Listen, well, now that you put it in my head, you know I'm gonna ask them.
I'm about to say it. They'll love it. I'll love it.
You know, I'm gonna ask him because one time I did ask him not too long ago. I did a little joke video with him, a TikTok. It's on my TikTok actually. Now everybody's gonna go run to my TikTok, you nosy bastards. Hit follow, bitch, if you're going to be nosy. Okay. Anyway, so I asked his permission. I said, listen, can I use your video that you just posted for my TikTok? Because he posted a video, like, you know what I mean? He was doing his thing. And I did a joke video where I was like, hey, let's go out. You're really fine. But you know that joke when it's like you delete the text and you just say, hey, what's up? So I did that with his video. And I was like, can I use this on my TikTok? And he was like, yeah, go ahead, do it. So he was very nice and enthusiastic about that. So if he says yes, live. Jen on the first date live.
Live. Live on the boat.
If he
On
says
the
yes,
boat with Jen.
I will not be on that boat,
On the
Lily. I will.
Right.
Fish rocks from the head down. Lisa said it.
A wise lady once said.
The fish rocks from the head down. Now I know that.
Oh,
And I'll just be sitting there. Like, dude, just please keep it cool. Don't get excited over shit, man. You know what I
Just
mean?
be cool.
Like,
Just be cool.
Listen,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I've got odds that he's gonna do it just from his answer to finally. I think he'll do whatever Jen asks.
he's gonna have a confetti cannon. Yeah.
This
Well,
is
I
the-
did. Listen, if he's down for that, I really did want to go shoot assault rifles from the helicopter out here. So if he wants to do that, if he wants to
that
appease me,
sounds fun.
it's
That does sound
expensive.
fun,
It's
though.
For
expensive.
real? You know what
That
I
does
wanted to
sound
do when
fun.
I was there, and it's very expensive too, is the hot air balloon. I've been wanting to do
Oh.
that, but they're like, that's expensive too.
It's like $500 per person, 500 plus.
Mhm.
You go up there and they give you a lot of ammo. You know that gun that goes. You just shoot at targets from the mountain. If he wants to do that, I'm game.
I would
Not
love to
fishing.
do that.
Yeah, so but it's fucking expensive. Then you got the helicopter rides and all that other shit. But I wanted to do the bouncy. Who wouldn't want to do the bouncy
I mean,
house
that
drunk?
sounds. I mean, with the exception of slipping in vomit on a bouncy house, I love that idea.
See, David, but the
Big
guys I
exception
know.
for me.
Listen, David, the guys I know in my age range all have bad knees.
I know.
They all have bad
Uh,
knees.
I know.
How are the knees on the panel?
I
Haran, no
can do
say.
it. I can do it.
I can do it. I mean, I've jumped out of many a window
I just-
from many a husband, but
Oh my
I-
god.
I still got my
I just climbed the
I still
Eiffel
got
Tower.
bounce
Who
with
are
my
we?
shit.
Who are we?
I
These
just
are
climbed the
horrible
Eiffel
people.
Tower over
Horrible
the weekend, so I'm good.
And I got Megan needs. So
Okay.
Megan
What are
needs.
Megan needs?
Megan the Stallion.
that's when you stand on
Oh.
your tippy toes and do what you got to do.
Oh,
Mhm.
Oh,
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Which is different from being flat-footed. There's two types of women in the world, honey. Them flat-footed bitches in the bed and the ones on their tippy toes.
Right.
And I
Hey.
digress. I digress.
Watch that
Okay.
Again. You wonder why you can't keep people out your goddamn inbox.
I digress.
Showing up flat-footed and swallowing.
Okay. People be like, "Oh, she's so small," but ooh, is it handy, bitch? Listen. See, my man ain't gonna think twice about should I pick her up. See, he don't think twice with me, mama. Listen.
Right.
Kari is crazy. He said on a date with Jen, episode 1. Let's do it.
Right.
Hey, if he's game, I will do it. I will broadcast it.
I used to
live.
love watching that show where the little bubbles would pop over the head. When
Yes.
Oh, what was that called?
Oh yeah, I forgot.
It wasn't
Was
a
it Blind
lemonade.
Date?
Blind
A
date
blind
and a
date?
lemonade. Yeah, blind date and a lemonade used to come on back to back, and I love them both.
Blind
Right.
Date. It was Blind Date.
Speaking of preferences, I did a reality show and it was like I had to choose between 5-6 people, whatever. And the Puerto Rican guy that they chose for my group of who to pick from, he was like, "Oh, this is so crazy because I don't date Puerto Rican girls and I'm Puerto Rican and he's Puerto Rican." And I was like, "Dude, for real?" I was like, "I don't date Puerto Rican men, twinsies." Right? But I was like, I wasn't insulted. I wasn't like,
Right.
"Oh my God, why are you rejecting me?" That's none of my fucking business what that
hold
man
on.
wants.
Jen, you didn't hit it with that self-hate. That's just
No.
nothing but self-hate.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Trigger.
I'm triggered.
Me.
You hate yourself. Just say it. Just say it.
Strangely enough, the Puerto Rican women in New York, they've never been accused of shit like that. Strangely enough.
Hello.
That's true. That's
They
true.
don't. They're not. They're not. None of them are.
Hello. I'm just like, yeah, no, he said it. He said it with confidence. So I was like, hey, but we did a really great, like we looked great on camera. We looked great doing our little, interaction on camera. And that's what he got paid for. And that's what I got paid for.
About
And
the same.
that's that. Cut the
That's
check.
all that matters. That's all that matters.
Everyone parted friends.
So that's
Exactly.
that's episode 4 of Driven to Love with Ray J. Whoever wants to see it, if you want to Google episode 4. Okay. And they really milked this is the Latina episode. I think they called
good.
it spicy some shit. Like it was really stereotypical. Like spicy some dead serious. I was like, why I gotta be
God,
spicy though?
cringe.
Why I gotta be spicy though? Yeah. So,
Like y'all couldn't come up with anything else.
right.
They were going to call it mofongo, but that was we were worried about
That was taken.
pronunciation.
It was taken, right? Yeah. I'm like, yeah, I'm fucking spicy, but that's beside the point, bitch. You ain't gotta call me spicy.
Right.
Okay.
That's a walking stereotype, but we don't have to acknowledge it.
Exactly. And then the way I open the show, bring on the meat. Like I'm bad. Anyway.
Oh, you gave
Anyway.
him TV. You gave him
Oh,
TV.
like, oh, I
Yeah.
listen. I
You
give
know,
good
I-
TV, Lily. I give good TV.
I used to do reality show makeup, and some of the people I work with was like that. They were two completely different people, and as soon as that camera comes on, you're like, it was impressive. It was so impressive. I
Yeah.
loved it. I was like, they know how to give good TV. They know what they're hired for. I'm here for it.
Uh-huh.
We're on and off. We're on and off. And it was fun. It was fun. It was interesting. You know what I mean?
Shit, I like that. For God's
And I
sake.
picked the white guy. No, saying I picked the white guy.
What?
I
But you didn't-
did.
I bet you
You
didn't
know it's
fuck him
TV
though.
now.
Oh no,
Right.
no, but David, he fucked another girl because after he won, right? I picked the white guy, but here's why I picked the white guy because I'm always in my production brain, and I said this guy's good TV. I'm gonna pick the guy who's good TV, and out of the 5 guys, he was good TV. Then they flew us to Turks and Caicos. David, I didn't fuck him, but he did fuck someone else on the island.
Oh, I'm glad.
Considerate of
Good.
him.
Yay.
All right.
Did you high
Damn.
five him? Did you
I
high five him?
did. He sent me the video because we all got separate hotel rooms, and he sent me the video. He was like, "Hey Jen, that girl,
Video?
that blah blah blah." He sent me a fucking video with him and her in the fucking bed. I was like, "You are
Oh.
fucking insane."
I would
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
but
All
he really
right.
did that. Wow.
But see, now
Oh.
I'm gonna tell you where you fucked up at, Jen. What you were supposed to do is send that video to the producer and say, "This motherfucker, look what he did."
Listen. Here's the thing that what happened with that show was crazy, and we were so fucking off topic. But really quickly, what happened with that show was they were like, "Yo, you're about to get a spinoff. Your shit's crazy." So the show got canceled after episode 4. I was episode 4, so the producer was pissed off because they was like, they should have did you episode 1.
Yeah.
And then the show would have had the momentum, like, oh, this shit's gonna be crazy. But they left me for episode 4. It got canceled after episode 4. But I had fun. I got paid. I
Yeah.
got to go to Turks and Caicos. It was absolutely divine, beautiful. I was a little sad because I ain't had no booty on the island, but it was beautiful to see. So beautiful. But he got laid. He got the guy that won my date. He got laid. He sent me the video. He got laid.
I'm
I
here
was like,
for
go
it.
ahead.
I'm here for it.
He got laid. Hey, somebody got laid. There you go. Get one
Right.
from me. Get
Right,
one
we
from
know
me.
how that. We know haters around here. Shoot.
Yeah.
Whatever.
But he had the little no saint look. The guy I picked, very nice
Oh.
guy, very nice guy.
Oh.
Listen, no saint. You should know. If you watch episode 4, you're gonna be like, oh yeah, he's in that no saint category.
So I need to see what's the name of it again. I'm gonna have to go look at
Driven to Love with
Driven.
Ray J. It's episode 4.
it. Okay.
Driven to Love with Ray J.
Didn't he-
Episode 4.
Didn't he? Wasn't it him that he had another show? Was it for the love of Ray J? Was that him too, or was that
That
somebody else? For
was
the love of...
no. That
Okay.
that was him trying to find somebody.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, so in Driven to Love,
Gotcha.
it was a cute concept. It was Ray J driving the date van, and then like I would be in the car, and then they bring in like a new guy, and then I would have to ask him a bunch of questions, like, dude, like the dating shows, blah blah blah. And you'll see the Puerto Rican guy. And what else? Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. Ray J is truly everybody's little brother. Like I was
Yeah.
roasting him in the car. I was like, dude, I saw the sex tape. It looked like he was into necrophilia. She looked like a dead fish. And he was like,
for real.
and then he
Yeah.
cracked. Look, he starts laughing, and then he looks back. He was like, wait a minute, Jen, what's necrophilia? I don't know what that is. I was like,
So
Listen.
what were you laughing at? What were you laughing at? The
what are
last
you
minute?
laughing at? What?
Right.
He was like, because you said she looked.
Hilarious. What does it
Because you
mean?
said she looked dead. I was like, oh, okay. I was
Oh,
like, I saw the video, Ray J. What was it about? What is going
Yeah, it
on?
was like a
Yeah, she was
empire was
not
launched off
compelling.
that.
Yes.
I
Like
mean,
terrible.
that
She
is-
was not compelling.
good God.
I
I've
love
seen
the
it. I've
first-
seen.
I love the first line on this already. Jen, a
What?
sexy Latina bombshell, unlucky in love.
Oh.
They get. And what's the name of the episode? What's the name of the episode? No say.
Naughty of nice.
Naughty or spice?
It says naughty of naughty of nice is what it says
Oh,
here. But
naughty.
Oh,
Or
it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be spice something. They need
well,
it
I'm sure
spice.
it is. This is just.
Yeah.
It's,
I gotta find
it just
where-
sounds. I swear that shit just sounds stereotypical as shit. Like you can
Right.
hear the maracas. You can hear the maracas.
Oh, I think they played
smell the
Spanish
Oh, here it
music.
is. It
Yeah,
says
they can
naughty
smell the
of
spice.
It's
Right.
naughty or spice, right?
Yeah, naughty or
Broken,
spice.
They're-
broken pollo.
yeah.
No, I think they did give me. I think they did give me the Spanish music for my introduction too.
Oh my
And
God.
And
did-
it was,
did-
it was
did they-
probably
Did they
Probably
show a
Colombian.
broken pollo when they picked you up?
They did not. They did not.
She got to think. She got to think. She got to think.
I think they did. I think they did do the Spanish music though. When I first came, I really think they did. I think they did. Jay Cavassier, yeah, he was like playing like a cab driver, but it was like a big old truck. Yeah,
That is funny.
yeah, it was fun. It was naughty or spice. I just looked it up. Tova says she just looked it up, and I think
Oh, I
Tristan,
think I
did you
see the
drop
white
the link?
guy.
Yeah,
You see the white
Tristan
guy I
dropped the link.
picked?
I mean, I'm only seeing like a slight clip, and some girls holding like this little thing to her head, like a little pink.
Yeah.
ball. Yeah.
That was a lot of fun. And then you know, it showed me how freaking produced and overproduced reality shows are. Like I was wearing an earpiece the whole time.
Oh, that is you. Okay, that's you.
That's me. Oh, I had they put a lot of weave in my hair, like big old, you know what I mean? Like a lot of
Out
hair.
here looking like Aubrey O'Day, because you know Aubrey O'Day gonna have 30 people's hair in her head.
And you know what I did? They were so mad at me because
Gosh.
right? I couldn't fucking deal with the hair. Like I'm not you know how girls could like sleep and weave and wigs and all of that. I get very antsy. You already know, Lily, I'm not the girly girl. So I went, not only did I take it out, but I chopped my hair into bob. That's the picture I showed you. And Continuity was fucking pissed at me.
Oh, I know they were.
They were mad. They were trying to fly in another girl to put the weave back in my hair. And I was like, look, you guys are producers. We're like, I picked the guy. Then you fly us to Turks and Caicos. Just fucking add to the show that I went and got my hair cut for the trip. What the fuck is wrong with y'all? They were livid. But I chopped my hair. I was like, I don't want no weave. When we go to Turks and Caicos, just say I chopped my hair. They were livid. I was like,
I know they were. I've seen it. Oh God, it was a model that showed up to casting, and then got booked, and then showed back up looking like something else. They had usually they'll send you on home, but for some reason I will never forget they had this girl in the sink rinsing out whatever it was in her hair. Like they can't stand that. That is like you know how that is. That's a big no.
I mean, they were mad, and then they wanted to put. I think they actually did. They put like the fake hair under like a baseball cap, and they wanted me to wear a baseball cap and make it look like I still had all the hair because I chopped my hair into a bob, and I was like, I don't care. And I already knew that they couldn't shoot the rest of it without me. It was done, so I was like, they're not gonna say shit. I'm chopping my fucking hair. And I had just got out of a very bad relationship. You know how women are after a bad relationship. I'll show you.
Yep.
It's
Yep.
like, I'll show you.
I'll mutilate me.
Right. I'll show you.
That'll teach you.
That'll
When I
learn
don't
ya.
have any legs, you'll get it
Right.
then.
No, but you know why? It was very symbolic because he was one of them people. Remember what we spoke about yesterday, Lily? Like, oh, you would look better if.
Oh.
So
Yeah.
he was one of those, you would look better if you had longer hair. So I grew the bitch out. So after he left, I was like, fuck. And I just fucking chopped it, the big chop. And it was great. It was great. So now I grew my hair for me, bitch. It's my business now. Yeah, but it was fun. So back to preferences and my little debate with Haran. I don't think, before we close, I don't think that he said it in a stank way. I didn't see that. You said he was disrespectful. All he said was, you remind me of my mother. My mother was a single mother. So, and there was a lot of stress and strife and struggling, and I don't want to be a part of that. Now, the host, I think, went over the top, you know, telling him, if your mother was good enough, like your mother was good enough to raise you as a single mother, how dare you like reject someone who's a single mother? But here's what I think. We don't know how deep triggers go for people.
Right.
And we don't know how bad that struggle was. We don't know what his mother had to do. And maybe he just doesn't want any part of that. So, and then the chick with the single mother, she personalized it. But why not just go get another guy who wants to hang out with you and your child?
And you don't want nobody. One thing you don't want is to try to convince somebody to do something that they don't want to do, because they're gonna get over there and your kids gonna be getting on their damn nerves.
Quick.
And
They're gonna be spitting at the TV. They're gonna be spitting on the TV.
right.
But I want to talk about another double standard. I want to talk about another double standard.
Okay.
And a lot of men go through this, and a lot of men who do have options go through this. The women who do not have children, that do not want to date men or get involved with men who do have kids, as opposed to the men the women who have children, and the men who don't have children. They at times, a lot of times, I've seen men actually shamed into actually, dating women who, single mothers. A lot of times, like
shamed.
Yeah, actually, yes. Shamed into actually dating women who have children. There's just a huge double standard. It's like if the guy has a kid and the woman doesn't, she doesn't want anything to do with him. But if she has a kid and he doesn't, a lot of times, she'll try to, I've seen him be shamed, or it's a different kind of platform. It's like, oh, you should consider actually dating the woman, even if she does have a kid. And maybe underneath this particular situation, there lies that double standard. Where a man
really quickly, I see a lot of new people in the room. Hit that like for me. Also, tomorrow's panel and stream will be atheism. The atheists will pull up tomorrow. And I promise we're going to convert you from your Jesus and your God. Pull up tomorrow if you want to argue about it. Tomorrow, the atheists pull up. Hit that like for me. I see everybody in the room. Hi, hit subscribe. Haran, going back to what you said, then it answers the question. Why aren't men allowed to have preferences?
Now, now here's the thing. As a man, especially if you have resources, let's just be clear here. The first thing society expects you to do is to be in debt to some fucking body. Yes. Men who have power are expected to be anchored to something, because then you can be controlled. Men who are not anchored to anything and who have power are not trusted in this world. This is one of the reasons why, if a man is to be a leader, let's say president and so on and so forth, you're expected to be married. You're expected to have a family. You're expected to have all these things. If you are a man of means, you have power, one of the first things that they expect. So when are you gonna get married? Are you courting right now? Like, what are you doing? Like, no one asks a guy who's broke as fuck. So, are you courting anyone right now?
That is true.
What are your ideas about a family? When you have no power as a man, you're actually very free. Ironically, when you have power as a man, you are expected to give up that shit, and you are expected to be in debt to somebody.
Well, I got another double standard for you, Mr. Haran DeMarco.
What's up?
Women can't catch a break either, because if a woman has a child, then she's got a burden. If a woman doesn't have children or even want children, there's something wrong with her. There's just
Ashanti, like they say about Ashanti.
Any woman that doesn't have children or even want children, there has to be.
I'll throw another double standard in there, or at least in society. It is much more, I think, in society, a woman will take on a man with a child. In fact, sometimes you even hear like, "Oh, look, he's a good father." Take care of his son. And it's almost an added thing that you can see that he's going to be a good father, maybe to your child. A woman is much more likely, I think, to take on the quote unquote burden of a man with a child than a man's going to take on a woman with a child.
Very true. And then you have Kevin Samuels.
From the perspective of women, I'm asking you here. When you see a man and he's good with children, does that do something to you? When you see
Yeah.
when he's great with kids,
Yeah.
and you know what I mean, and so on. Does that?
Jen's different.
That's
I'm just trying to figure out what decade, Jen, you're asking. The 20-year-old, the 30-year-old, or the
We're
40-year-old.
not talking. We're not talking
Right.
40-year-old Jen. We're
Okay.
talking 90s. We're talking 90s right on
Yes.
magazine.
Then yes. Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I still, to this day, I still think it's cute, but I'm like, oh, that's cute.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. At this age and stage now, like I'm at a very selfish stage. That's why I know I will tell a man up front, if your child is under the age of 21, okay, I can't not do it. I can't do it.
Yeah.
I don't want to be.
feel
I
that.
don't want to be anybody's stepmommy. I'm not in the mental space to be anybody. I don't care what your kid is going through. Respectfully. Hopefully, they have a mother that could figure that out. I'm in a very, very selfish phase, and that pisses people off, right? But I'm like, we're not dating, so I should not piss you off. You and I are. Hi, gentlemen, whoever's looking right now, like, oh my God, my daughter's 13. That's great. Go find you a woman who wants to raise a 13-year-old. I do not. And it's my right after what I've been through in life, where I'm headed, where I am. I don't care about your son who's 12, who just started beating off and is wondering who he is. I don't care about your 13-year-old daughter needs a mother figure. Go find one. That is not me, sir. And I think that, you know what I mean? People cannot handle honesty. Like honesty
Right.
to them is being disrespectful or judging. I'm not judging you. I don't want any parts, right? Your children have to be of age and they have to live with their mama, and she has to be a good mama.
Right.
Right,
Because
because
that's another thing.
No, wait, Lily, that's another thing that men do. They hate their baby mamas, and it's like, Jen, you'd be a good mother. And no, sir, I will not. I will not. No. Like, that's not you should have caught me in my 20s. You didn't. Too bad. Go find you somebody. And it's my right. And it's just like, you know what I mean? And a man could look at me and be like, well, I want to take women out for coffee. Then I'm not the girl. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, I don't want you, Jen, because you don't accept coffee. That's fine, sir. Or, I don't want you, Jen, because I need a mother figure. That's fine, sir. Like, everybody's entitled to what the fuck it is that they want, whatever phase in life they're in. I'm not the stepmommy. I'm not interested.
So
Another thing.
I get pushback though from men. I get crazy pushback from men, and they get offended when I tell them I have absolutely zero interest in a traditional monogamous relationship or marriage. I have zero fucking interest, and they will try to make it. Can someone guess the first line that comes out of their mouth?
Me too.
You're gonna end up alone.
You
There you go, Jen. There you go,
yeah.
Jen. Jen knows because that's what they say.
Because I've heard it.
Okay.
Right. And it's like, why is that always their first go-to? And what I realize is that what they're doing is projecting their shit onto us. Right? Because you have a fear of dying alone. I don't. Which that's why I can say I don't want to date. I can say I don't want to be with anybody. I can say that because I don't walk around with that fear. I don't identify with that fear. I don't even identify with loneliness, So it's like I don't even identify with loneliness. I don't even know what the fuck
I don't
that
either.
is.
Yeah.
You got the wrong one, because I
have time
like
for
right. You got the wrong one with me, because I like being alone. I love my bubble baths. I'm like my dad in many, many ways.
Yeah.
I'm a loner. Like, my friends have to force me to come outside. And wasn't I out this weekend, guys? And I was like, there are people out here. I was like,
Look, any social gathering, my first thought is, how quickly can I leave? I got my eye on the exit. Like,
That's me.
that's even if I show up.
If I show up.
Fashion Week parties. Oh, David was here. I zero social battery. It just doesn't
I'm
work.
horrible.
I remember Jerry Seinfeld. Jerry Seinfeld did a joke like that. He was like, everybody wants to go out. They want to go out. And then when they're out, they're like, we got to get back. We got to get back.
Yeah.
We got to get back.
Yeah. We had that.
You know what?
Remember?
David Dillon, this is a great question. David Dillon said, what if he's super fine, Jen? Then we get to play. But I'm not the stepmom. Listen, the guy that the date guy, he's super fine. I'm not raising his 2-year-old though. Not happening. Not happening. Not interested.
No,
Okay,
ma'am, Pam. I do not eat green eggs and ham.
and super fine to me is Jason Momoa. I don't know anybody in that category that's in my contacts right now, so I'm safe. Okay. Now, if Jason Momoa came to me with an embryo, I'd be like, baby, I'll carry it in my womb, baby. You need a surrogate mommy? And Vince would be like, yeah, I will breastfeed. It's Jason Momoa.
Okay, I will drop off. What's his name? The guy like Iman Shumpert's daughter to daycare. I'll do that. I'll give her one trip to daycare. Other
Who?
than that,
Which one?
You know I have a crush on Iman Shumpert.
You
Tiana Taylor's
do?
husband. I do. That man does it for me. He's my only
What?
celebrity crush. Like literally my own. And I have to think really, really hard for that one. But yeah, he does it
Iman
for me.
Shumpert. Yes.
Mhm.
Okay. I could see it a little. I could see it a little bit.
Because he has
A little.
very ethnic features in his face. Like
Very
he has
much
like
so.
you
I
know,
get it.
yes, I love those features. So like that's yeah.
I get it. I get it.
I get where you're going with it. I mean, I'll probably always hold a candle for Halle Berry.
See?
Like
So she can get away with a few
shit-pops.
things.
Okay,
no,
she
can get
has
away with
what?
a lot of things.
She has
Yeah, she
3
can get away with a lot
children.
of things.
How many
Yeah,
children does she have? 3? Would you
yeah, she
take
got
her
like
with 3
3.
children?
Absolutely, she's Halle
Okay,
Berry.
no. What if she looked exact? Because they are out there. They're in the hood too. Okay, they're
Okay.
Halle Berrys that are not famous. All right, I saw one
Yeah.
at the fucking day party.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, you would take her 3 kids not famous, just Halle the waitress.
And she's prime Halle. And she's prime
Yes.
Halle Berry.
Yes.
3 kids. 3 kids.
3 kids, young 3 kids.
I'd give it a 48-hour consideration at best.
Ain't shit.
I'm being honest.
Dog.
Ain't shit.
I'd be like, wait. Let's. I'd at least see the kids. I at least have to see the kids and be like, let's see if. You know what
But
I
you
mean?
know,
Like,
there are things that people don't consider. Like David said, you don't consider these children have personalities. Sometimes they don't take to other people. I've seen some fucking little rude assholes that are used to the other parent. Like just shit I don't want to deal with. Not only that, but a young child, the relationship, you know what I mean, the baby mama still feels like she has seniority, and she should. She shares a kid with the asshole. So she's gonna feel like, she can call whenever and I'm too territorial, I'm too possessive. I am fucking insane. Okay. I am irrational, unreasonable. All right. See, this is the block. We tell the truth here. And I don't want to, and your baby mother's not going to like me if she's disrespectful, because I will double down. So why you want that in your life, right?
The other side too is that like religion will tell you that your holy union is the most important thing in your life. Once you have kids, fuck that bitch. You know what I mean? I met you at a Starbucks on our first date. No, I met you at the club. This is my flesh and blood. If someone's got to go, it's you, baby. It's not the baby. That's my baby. You know what I mean? Like
look,
you're once you have
That's
kids, any relationship you have is secondary to that, to them.
Yep.
brothers,
Don't follow that principle.
brothers, I hope you're listening to these people, because let me explain something to you. As a man who is in a co-parenting situation, okay, you can be the most amazing dad, pay your child support on time, try not to get into any fucking arguments, just be pristine and awesome. When you walk through that door, when she looks at you, you are nothing but a failed relationship. And you're a reminder that whatever life that you're living right now and whatever that's going on, she and her and your child are not experiencing that. So if it's amazing and off the wall, and you want to toe down the Turks and Caicos, IG vid, you want to turn down these things a little bit. You want to do these things because you don't want to be out of here playing anybody's face. Because trust me, you might get a court order out of nowhere. You know what I mean?
You'd be lucky to get a court order because
Very smart advice. Very smart advice.
I'm very, very, very cognizant of how I move on social media and how I do things. I make sure my daughter gets what she needs, because if you out here, and even if you're taking care of your kid amazingly, and you out there, they catch you with the next chick, and you're at the Grammys, and you're popping off, and you're wilding out and screaming YOLO, you're gonna get a phone call. Trust me.
Picture Haran, we hanging out in fucking Vegas, and I'm
Oh,
like, in a picture with him. Picture that shit. I'm hanging out right
Now imagine
I mean, fucking
Imagine
this
Jen.
champagne.
Imagine Jen on my shoulders. I'm holding her. She's with champagne. We're screaming and yelling. You can trust that's an extra $600 on my fucking child support a
Damn
month.
right.
You've been served.
Oh my god.
That's
We'll be
gonna be the next
motorboating.
Like, do you know how many knives I've had to pull out of my girlfriend's hands because of shit like what you just
Yeah.
said?
Yes.
Yo,
smart
yo.
advice. Very good
No.
advice. Very
Dead
good advice.
ass.
Yeah.
You right.
Yo, you
I
gotta
don't care if
move
you
a
have to.
certain way.
I don't care if you have to pretend. You better look like the most broke, miserable mother. We check every now and then.
Oh, yes.
Oh
We
yeah.
check.
Oh yeah.
Especially
Don't think they're not
especially if
reading your
there's a
social
mispayment.
media.
Especially if there's a mispayment or a mispickup. If you miss picking up that kid or mispayment, and she tuned into that social media, and there's another bitch up on there.
Let me miss a payment. Let me miss a visit. Be like, oh yeah, but you got that goddamn volcano on your neck, screaming YOLO with the champagne. Maybe you spent all your money on her. Screaming
YOLO.
For real. And throw a couple of poppies in there and you done, Haran.
Oh man.
Over. You've been served.
You've been served.
That's the next
Process
statement.
server coming up throng papers at you. It touched you. Sorry, it
Right.
touched you.
Like, you be like, he's making it rain. Oh, you've been served.
Me reading this shit while Jen is on my neck and champagne is everywhere.
Get off my neck, get off my neck, get off my neck.
Oh my goodness, no. See, David Dillon ain't dumb. He said there is no living my best life post.
Yeah.
No.
Right.
You
No.
have no best
It's
life.
discovered by
Yep.
hashtag
No.
it's hard.
Right.
The struggle is real.
The struggle
Yeah.
is real.
Listen to that man. Listen to that man. Listen to that.
And it was funny. I followed this guy on Facebook, and he used to always post about him not having money, but you could tell it wasn't like a begging. It was like one of those, like, I ain't got no money. I ain't no money over here. I'm broke.
Yeah.
I'm miserable. Shit, I wish I got some money. It'd be nice to have some money. I got
Oh
some
my
money.
God.
And I was like, oh yeah.
Listen, Z Tova says, sounds like my husband's daughter's mom. She's like that. She snoops. You damn well. But listen, my baby daddy lucky that we broke up way before the social media explosion.
Ooh.
Lucky, way before.
Yeah.
Many moons ago, but that's how it is. Smart. You don't have to freaking post every fucking experience. Like, stop it. Knock it off. Matter of fact, get you a girl that looks like Whoopi Goldberg. Just sit across dinner from her and be like, "Hey, I'm on a date."
I found her.
Right.
Yeah, because then the baby mama gonna be like, "That's right. He ain't gonna have no bitch like me. He ain't never gonna find her."
Right.
Give her a little boost of confidence. Give her a little boost of confidence.
Instead, y'all want to stick it to her, like, it's like, no, you will never win. You will
Trust
never
me.
win. You will never
When
win.
you got a kid with a woman, it's never over, brothers. It's never over. Even if they get married and they get on with their lives, and that dude is awesome, and you think like she's happy, she's like, oh yeah, she's cool, she's everything is fine. Like, no,
Moved on, yay.
no, there's no move on. No.
Yeah. It's true.
Mm.
It's true. They're never out of your life. I look at my parents. I'm 42. My parents are still in each other's lives for some reason. Like when my brother almost died, we all had to go to South Carolina. We all staying in the same hotel. Me, my mother, stepfather, dad, stepmother. We're like, you come down for the continental breakfast in the morning. We're all having. I'm like, well, are we gonna sit at one table? I guess one big fucking happy family. Like you never get rid of that person.
And the tension must have
No,
been
you're
like,
Yes, Jay. Yes, Jay. It can be a nightmare. That's why you don't make no woman a single mother, man. It's either they'll make you, it's either they'll make it a nightmare, or you're gonna live the nightmare with them. So choose wisely.
Choose wisely.
David, you were saying before we're out of here.
Oh, I don't remember. Kids.
Kid's
Mothers.
mother is something. Champagne.
That's what it was. Champagne. Yeah.
Oh my God. Well, when we meet up in Vegas, I would suggest anyone in a pending child support case, do not post what
Oh,
we're
nah,
about to
man.
experience.
Oh,
Do not
nah,
post what
man.
we're about to experience.
On my shit is deactivated during that time.
Okay, that's right.
My
Smart.
social media is deactivated at that time.
There you
The
go.
moment
I ain't got
Haran puts
nothing
on,
going on.
the moment
Nothing.
Haran puts on his shoulder saddle, all social media gets shut down.
Right. It's a wrap.
Done.
Then as soon as we get in position to play chicken in the pool, it's over. It's a wrap. You
Yeah.
have no social media.
No.
Like even if I get tagged in a photo, I'll be like, nah, that ain't me.
Wasn't me.
That ain't me.
Deep
That really ain't me.
Deep
Wasn't me.
fake. Nope. Deep
I
fake.
don't- I
That's a
don't
deep
nah,
fake.
that's AI.
It's a deep fake. AI.
I don't give a fuck how big and black that motherfucker is. That's not me.
Right. Everybody's like, I told you this.
Shit.
I told you this AI was gonna be a problem.
Listen,
Exactly.
I'm
Exactly.
gonna tag Haran to him doing like the little shot off my stomach, off my six
Oh
pack.
my goodness. Oh, girl, you trying to get me ruined? You trying to get me ruined? You trying to get me ruined out here?
Me and Lily gonna tag him, be like, Haran gonna be like,
I'll be like, nah, that ain't me. That's Terry Crews. Nah, that ain't me.
No.
you
No,
bet. Jen
ma'am.
knows famous people. That's probably Terry
Right.
Crews.
Exactly, that ain't me.
Oh my God. Woo! Good times. Looking forward to it. We are not done yet, people. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, please hit that like and subscribe button. I hope you enjoyed tonight. You are always welcome to cam up with us and argue. Tomorrow will be very, very, very spicy. The atheists are pulling up. We're all going to tell our origin stories, how we became atheists, why we are atheists, and why we will continue to be atheists. We want to hear from religious people. If you are a Christian or anything else under the sun, please pull up and cam up. We don't argue with avatars, or you can stay in the chat. It is up to you, but tomorrow's going to be really, really crazy. Thursday, we are going back to black versus brown, since you guys are spicy about that in the comments. So,
Oh, and to piggyback on tomorrow's show, Haran is going to be representing for the agnostic, and I'm going to be representing for the spiritual community. So we do need a religious person, because we don't have anybody who's like religious, like they claim a sect, like like the gangs do. We don't have that.
Yo, E Black, if you're watching, please clam up, man.
I'll hit up E Black because he's devout Christian. But I would really love to hear from if you're a part of another religious group, please, I literally am begging, come up, because it seems like every time there's a debate amongst atheists, it's always the Christians that come with their chest poked out, which is great. But I'd like to hear from another religion. If you're part of any other religion, please come through tomorrow, because our atheist quota is filled. So we would like to hear from people that are religious. Okay, the atheists we're packing the room
We're good.
tomorrow.
The atheists we are devoid.
And we couldn't get more different than the atheists here from different walks of life. We couldn't get
There you go,
any more
man.
different, including the young man who's coming tomorrow too. He's only in his 20s. He's a police officer, young black man. He also has an atheist channel, and he goes hard. So I think I'm the nice atheist, but this kid goes hard. So
I love the
ready.
spectrum. I love
So
the
we got
spectrum.
we got a white atheist here, so you guys are devils.
No, you got
Yeah.
two white atheists. You got two.
Oh, okay.
I'm
Yeah.
80% white. Let's get that straight right now.
Okay. All right.
A mere
right, David.
80% sliver of my DNA is white.
congratulations.
Okay.
Like no say said. No say said congratulations.
That was hilarious.
Yeah, but yeah, so tomorrow's gonna be quite interesting. I'll make a spicy thumbnail. I'm disrespectful.
Oh, please be. Please be.
Oh.
I'm
You
gonna
don't
be
need
quite
any respect.
I'm
I
gonna make
gotta
quite this.
rent a nun's habit then for tomorrow, I think, with a plunging neckline.
Oh my god!
This is
It's
going to
good.
be interesting. This is going to be lovely.
Yes,
It's going quite interesting. Tomorrow, be here or be square. What are we doing, guys? 9 p.m. Eastern, 8
Yep.
Central, and 6 PST.
For the rest of the summer.
We can see if Glenn is available. He's quite the religious man.
Right.
Very
Yes.
true.
And
Yes.
Glenn's fun. Glenn is a lot of fun. So
Yeah. So
He's
I'll
a
slide in.
theologian.
And he's out here too. He's in Vegas. So
Yeah.
I'll hit him up. I'll hit up Christopher Higdon. And Christopher Higdon, he's also an atheist, but the way he breaks down religion in the Bible is fucking amazing. Like I love people who are atheists and they're so well versed in the Bible. I'm not well versed in the Bible. Like he was like,
I mean,
are you
we'll talk
you
about
David?
that tomorrow.
Okay,
we'll talk
tomorrow.
about
I would never waste my time, reading fiction like that. Seriously, you know what I mean? I know the whole world gets down with it, but I just would never spend my time doing that. So I love not having the knowledge because it's not. I'm gonna rant.
I can't.
It's not
I can't
history,
wait.
It's not like.
But do
none of
you-
these
but
folks have been proven
David-
to have lived.
And we're just giving you a little taste of what's going to happen tomorrow. But David, really quickly, let me ask before we close. I've always looked at the Bible. I love the stories. I'm an atheist, but I love the stories in there. They're very Shakespearean. They remind me of Othello and the 12th Night. Would you read it like as you're reading Harry Potter? Because that's how I view the Bible.
I still wouldn't. Now
Really?
it's too stigmatized for me.
Okay.
To read it at this point, and I'm just not interested. You know. what I
Okay,
mean? It's
fair
not-
enough.
It's not my genre. If it was
Right.
Star
Okay.
Wars or some shit.
Got it. That makes sense. It's not your genre anyway. I like
Blade
those fairy tale-ish, like talking snakes and pillars of salt. Like I like weird shit like that. Anyway.
Fantasy, not my genre.
Yeah. Okay. But you guys know my favorite movie of all time is Legend, the one with Tom Cruise, and Darkness, the big devil guy was my first crush ever. So I was doomed for atheism. Yeah, that's like my biggest, everybody knows on the blog. That's my guy. My first crush. I was watching the movie with my little cousins. My little cousins was like, "Oh my God, Tom Cruise." And I was like, "Who is that with the horns?" Yeah, I was doomed from the start. There was no hope for me. Jake Cavazia said, "Let's all watch the Driven to Love episode." Hilarious. Yeah.
Right. Do a watch party with that.
Oh my God, that would be. Oh my God, Lily.
We might have to do
That'd be
that. We might have to
fucking
do that.
You know what? All right.
We might have to do that. Friday?
Okay.
Friday? That'd be a fun Friday, right? Y'all want to do that? That'd be a fun Friday.
Oh my God, Lily. That's gonna be.
Hurry.
Oh, Lily, you put me on a spot. All right.
I was on the spot
Okay.
last week, so hey.
But you have an amazing film, Lily.
This is gonna be amazing
Ray J,
too. I mean,
Ray J.
this
but
is a
it's-
different type of amazing.
Yes.
The man is a thespian. What are you talking about, Ray J? The man is amazing. The man is up there. His chops are with
You know
Daniel
what?
Day-Lewis.
Okay, you know what? But I would have to look at it from like a professional point of view. We can watch it and do a Q&A and we could talk about behind the scenes of
Sure.
production and reality show. Let's do it that
Sure.
way and then I can stomach
Sure.
watching it.
I
If-
feel like
if-
we
if-
should watch and pause and discuss.
I
What
like
do y'all
that.
think about that? You know?
And you can ask questions about different segments. Like, did that really happen? Blah, blah. Funny enough, that is where I met Ish. That is where I met Ish on that set.
What?
Well, okay, what's up, Ish?
That is where I met Ish. That is where we locked eyes for the first time. Well, I locked eyes with his ass. And that's why I literally, seriously. We'll talk about it tomorrow. I mean, this weekend. We will screen it. We'll talk about it. And then maybe we could have him come up and talk about when he first met me. So you know what that's like as well. All right, guys. So this
Well,
weekend.
Ish would have been a good guest tomorrow too, but
Yeah, if he wants to come up tomorrow, shit, he wants to throw the gloves on, we will do it. Great idea, Lily. So we'll do that. We'll dissect, right? And then I can stomach it because just watching it to watch it, I'm gonna be like, oh my God. All right, so we'll do that. It'll be fun. And No Saint will get to see the guy that I picked that's in his category. All right, so we do that. We do that this weekend. It'll be a fun weekend. But tomorrow is gonna be on and pop in. All right, guys. Good night. Love you all. This was amazing. Hit that like and subscribe. We are out.
good night.
Good night. Hit that like and subscribe for Mama. I told y'all we're going to have a jam-packed week of lots and lots of entertainment. Make sure you subscribe, okay? And I will see you here tomorrow. Get ready. The devils are coming. Good night, guys.